Everybody, woohoo! It's Friday. Oh, that sounded a bit controlled, that was, wasn't it? I was kind of held back just for a second, just for effect. Anyway, how the devil are we all going? Blimey, we made it to Friday. Is it me? Is it me? Or did it feel like a long Friday? Or just a long week? We had Monday off here in the UK anyway, because we're celebrating Easter, like you do. And anyway, I know loads of people that are away this week, so it's been slightly quieter than normal in some respects, and in other respects, it's been quite busy at the same time as well. Anyway, we've got a packed panel for you lovely lot tonight as well, and I just want to hope that all you guys have had a fun week too. I certainly have. I'm still trying to get over Star Wars Celebration 2023 over. I mean, it's in Europe, but it's here in the UK, just down the road in Excel. And of course, anyone that tuned in on Monday would have seen me building the wonderful Heroes or Battle of Endor Heroes set, which, you know what, ultimately, that's a great one of Lando with his David Niven moustache. That's everyone's favourite. Wicked. What can I say? Everyone's got very cool taste out there. But anyway, how the devil are you lovely lot doing? Like I always say, folks, if you do want to support the channel, there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can either, firstly, give us a super chat. I'll stick your name up there on London Wall. It's a pretty cool thing. It's done over there. It's in quite a few of my videos, actually, which is a strange thing. But I kind of do a lot of panning around and boom, it's there. Or secondly, of course, you could just join the membership, like like Salek Scape has. He's been a member now for 2 months. They've got loads. We're doing very well on the membership front, funny enough, and it's quite cool because the cool thing about it is that it's kind of like it's just a way of becoming a bit more immersive, and it supports the channel. What can I say, folks? You know all that lovely stuff. But anyway, on that note, right, folks, we've got a survey running as well. We've got there 42 votes. Blimey, that's really good. It's a really simple question. It's a question I don't think I've ever asked anyone before. It's let's face it, we're all big kids. We are, aren't we? We really are. But have you still got Lego from when you was a child? And it's 50-50 at the moment. My word, 50-50. That means 22 of you have voted yes, 22 have voted no. All right, let's see how it goes to the end of the stream in a few hours. At the moment, we've got 21 thumbs up. Do us a favor. Oh, 22. It's just got up. Thank you, whoever that was that's just pulled it up. And also as well, if you want to check out everybody's details tonight, you will find it down in the description below. You know how it goes, folks. It's the way it goes. Anyway, on that note, this stream wouldn't be anything without you lovely lot. So let's say hello to a few of you, shall we? And you might be wondering, Greg, what are you wearing sunglasses for? It's not sunny. Actually, you'd be right. It's not. But anyway, it's kind of, it's because one of our guests coming on in a moment is quite well known for it. What can I say? Anyway, you'll find out in a sec. Anyway, we've got Stud Cities out there. Good to see you, mate. We've got Mayo as well. Real Whole Egg, apparently. Good stuff. Minifig Who's out there too. Family Bricks is there too. He's in Denmark at the moment. One of our guests who's on tonight. He's in Denmark as well. MNRK's out there too. One Brick Stud, he's out there. Good to see you, mate. Fooling with Bricks, he's being with it. What do you think of his avatar? How cool is that? Brickaskew is out there too. Hey, everyone. Faith and Misery, good to see you, dude. Hope you've had a top week. Lady McBrick, I saw you streaming earlier on. Good to see you here as well. Hey, everyone. I am excited for this one. I tuned in early. Haha. Good to see you, Irish fan of Lego. Lovely to have you here. It really is. Brickaskew says, I got a load of my old Lego down from my parents' loft last year, and now they say a load of it has to go to my nephew. He's only one, and he's already taking liberties. No, don't give it away. Keep it. Rolando is out there too. Seymour Bricks, 2 gay A folds. Hello, chaps. How you doing? Hope you've had a top week. History Bricks by D. Good to see you, mate. The old brick guy's out there as well. He's new. And anyone out there who is new to the channel, do us a favor. Why not, click that subscribe button. Become a big part of the LBB family. I can hardly see what I'm doing around here with these sunglasses on. But anyway, it's nice to put on a pair. Brent's Bricks is out there too. That might be why I've got these on. Who knows? Welcome to Euphoria. Blimey, mate. I've not seen you for a few weeks. Good to see you here. No More Bricks is out there too. Ryan Taggart. I'm going to be meeting him this weekend. Don't worry, Ryan. I won't be wearing the sunglasses then. Well, I might need to be. I've hardly slept. Anyway, who else we got out there? We've got Brick Adjuster as well. He'll be back with us next week. And we've got the Minifiku. That's it. We're right down to the bottom. Give us a thumbs up, folks. You know, we've got 29 now. We've gone up 33% since the stream started. Keep it going. You know you want to. My old Lego is in the box in the attic. That will be a voyage of discovery someday. Yes. Did you know what? Talking about attics and that, I've actually got a box of Lego from my wife, and it was her parents gave it to us probably about 6 months ago, or maybe even a year ago. And it's got all bits and pieces of her Lego in it. Some of which I think is Fabuland. I'm going to do a video on it once. I've never opened it, and I just want to kind of do a bit of a reaction video to it. It will happen one day, folks. I promise you. Who else we got out there as well? Danny Bob Studios has reached 100,000 subscribers. She has indeed, and I wished her. We was having a little chat earlier this week, and I wished her congratulations as well. Amanda Books is out there too. Books and Bricks. Good to see you, Amanda. Welcome to the stream. Lovely to have you here. Lego Lassie. Happy Friday, all. Lego Lassie. Good to see you too. Well done on some of your videos you've done recently as well. And we've got Christopher or Chris and Jaden Where Tomorrow Chalice. Oh, cool. There's a few festivals out this weekend. Anyway, folks, let's get going, shall we? Let's start bringing in our guests. First of all, I'm going to bring in my wingman. He's the man. He's always there. He was with me earlier on this week when I was streaming the Heroes of Endor Brickheads. I recommend these, folks. They are really good. Though I will say this. I don't know if anyone noticed it. Just saying. But Lego this week, they did put out some pictures. And they put the hilt round the wrong way. Just saying. It happens to me all the time. But it's funny when other people make the same mistake. But what can I say? We're all human, aren't we, folks? Check out their survey. Check out those thumbs up. And check out everybody who's in the description tonight, folks. Like I say, all the details are there in the description. Anyway, first on is, of course, my wingman is, of course, my good friend, Craig Star, who's going to be displaying tomorrow, folks. He's building his mock-up tonight. Brick Stage Pass. Hello, dude.
Hello.
How you doing?
Stressed.
Stressed. Have you got a lot to build?
Yeah, fair few. Gonna be a late one, I think.
Okay, all right, good man. Well, you'll be the kind of there in the background. We can have update reports on how it's going throughout the stream. And yeah, so what just give people a bit of a background. You're building. You love castles. I saw him building. There was 3 castles he had. I mean, actually, I think it was 4, wasn't it? 4 castles.
Yeah.
And BRICKTASTIC.
4 medieval buildings.
That's it. And one of them you are reconstructing because it kind of disassembled itself in the car, didn't it?
Yeah, I took it out with the parcel shelf, so I quickly fixed it up to get it to the show, and then took it apart to bring it back, and then left it in the box because I didn't want to look at it. And then I've realised last minute that I needed to fix it.
Oh yeah, that's it. Unless you just kind of just flatten it off and just do a quick repair, or make it like a tower in construction.
No, I've rebuilt the thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was going to say, like, you could do like what a modular construction site for castles. But anyway, on that note, we'll keep. I want you to keep laying bricks, Craigster. Keep laying bricks. Look, his little tongue's out as well. He's really thinking about this. Where would you like to go next? We've got somewhere in Reading. We've got somewhere in Denmark. Or we've got somewhere just down the road from me here in London. Where would you like to go?
Let's go to Denmark.
We're going to go to Denmark. Right. Well, this geezer, and he is a geezer, folks, believe me. He probably won't appreciate me calling him a geezer, but he is. He's a guy. He's like one of us. But the difference between him and us is that he happens to be the master builder at the Lego house. I can't believe he's come back on again. I'm super stoked, and I hope you guys are too. Is, of course, our good friend, Stuart Harris. Hello, mate.
Hello. Great to be back.
Stuart, it's really cool to have you here. It really is. It was a very pleasant surprise when I asked you, do you want to come back on again? He was like, yeah, I do, which was really cool. And even better, the Lego marketing people saying, yeah, let him on. He wants to do that. Let him on. So phenomenal to have you here, Stuart. It really is. I'm looking forward to catching up, just to see what you've been up to for the last 10 months, I think it is, since we saw you, and what you've been up to. And of course, I've got a lot of people who sent me pictures of these of a certain pirate figure, a big fig.
Oh,
pirate.
really?
Yes, strangely enough.
I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder why. It's definitely one of the insets to have. There's no doubt about that. And it kind of creates this sort of new sub theme. But anyway, we'll cover that in due course. Where would you like to go next? Is the question. We got Reading, which is just outside London, or we've got right inside London. Where would you like to go?
I'd like to go to Reading. I grew up near there.
You grew up near there, did you?
Yes.
Good man. Well, anyway, how can I describe this guy? Well, all I will say, folks, is you know when it's really dark and it's a clear, lovely night, and you look up and think, God, it's a really starry night out there. Well, I'll tell you something, folks. He's wearing a T-shirt tonight that just reminds me of such a night sky. Is of course our good friend. He was on last week as well. MNRK, aka Mark. Hello, mate.
No.
Look at that. You are.
He's on mute.
He is. He's on mute. He's a pro. He's a Twitcher. What can I say? There we go. Oh, 3, 2, 1.
No.
It's free. There he is.
There we are.
Hey.
There we are. Right. Sorry, I was taking my set apart and putting all the pieces down, so I didn't want to rustle the pack. But yes, it's sparkly today. Yeah, I just thought it would match my personality, you know.
It does. You are sparkly, all right. But
Better than illuminated.
Twinkly. Should we call him Twinkly Mark tonight? Greg's grandson. This is Greg's grandson.
I didn't put that there, just putting it out there. But I mean,
I know that was a
compliment. It's a compliment. I mean, I would take that.
I'll tell you what, I can see why people wear sunglasses. It takes about 20 years off your life. It's brilliant. It really does.
Makes you look 60. Yeah, you're right.
I need a scarf now for my neck.
You really are a granddad if you need a scarf for your neck, buddy.
What about a cravat? That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
A cravat. Now you really are showing your age, Greg.
Oh, come along, boy. I don't know. I think would you lot out there think? I think I could just about. Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
They just about sell cravats still. Don't worry.
You could pull off anything because you'd still look stupid. So
what can I say? I mean, there is that, but then of course there is always this. Right, what was she saying? Right, okay. Moving on swiftly. MNRK. God, I'll tell you what, I've done a Ribena tonight. Half of that is Ribena. It's meant to be concentrate.
So that's why you're bouncing off the walls, all the sugar.
Oh, coffee, blimey. Anyway, MNRK.
Yes.
Then you're going to London. You're coming right into London in the thick of it. Which, of course, earlier on this week, I don't know if you heard, there's a certain Star Wars convention on.
There was indeed.
Oh my God, it was good fun. I'll show you some pictures a little bit later on as well, folks. It was good fun. It really was. But my friend who's coming on tonight, he's kind of he's like my brother in arms because he knows so much about Castle and he knows a little bit as well about pirates, which is quite a cool thing. I'm bigging him up, folks. What can I say? It's Big Bazza, otherwise known as Fooling with Bricks.
Watcher, how you doing?
All right,
it's good to see you all.
I didn't overcook you there, Baz, did I?
You didn't. Normally you go completely overboard and I'm just like, oh, cringe.
What can I say? I'm trying to be diplomatic, but not over fry it at the same time as well tonight for you.
No, thank you for that.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Good to have you.
It's good to be here.
And it's good to have you. We're very lucky. You're feeling good. You're looking good. That's for sure. Everyone looks really dark at the moment. I keep thinking, why don't I? I've got to turn up my my brightness. It's like these bloody glasses. But anyway, we have a choice. We have a choice of where to go to next because we've got our next people coming on are newbies. They are. I mean, Stuart's fairly new. He's been on once before, but all you lot, you're regulars. Where would you like to go, though, Baz? Where would you like to go? We can go California, practically West Coast. I mean, I think it's early hours of the morning still over there. They're so far kind of in the West still, or less further in the West, more Central America, Ohio, if I remember correctly. we could go there. So where would you like to go? West Coast or Central Time? Where would you like to go?
Okay, let's go. And I am guessing here. Central.
Oh, we're going to go Central. Oh, well, I tell you what, folks. This guy who's coming on, he's famous. He is for a couple of things. Firstly, he wears a bandana. And you know what? Secondly, and I say this without a shadow of a doubt, he has the best sunglasses on YouTube. And you're probably thinking, who on earth is he talking about? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm talking about a geezer from a couple of brickheads. It is, of course, our good friend, his first time on here, Brent's Bricks. Hello, mate.
What Midwest. Technically, Ohio's the Midwest, but it's like barely Midwest.
Is it? I was looking at it. I was thinking,
yeah.
It's just in the Central Time Zone.
No, it's just outside of it. So if you go a little bit more towards the middle of the country, like in Chicago and those areas, it's 1 hour behind us. So
okay.
We're practically East Coast. It's like I'm on the border of like the Midwest and the East Coast. So
I know that's why I called it Central.
Yeah,
but I mean, my geography is not the best. So come on, I'm hanging in here for the love of God. I really am. And but also as well, you're like Canada's just down the road from you, isn't it?
Where?
Canada. It's just
it's not far. So if I used to snowboard in like Buffalo, New York, and that's like right across the way from Niagara Falls, and that was like 6 hours. So I can be in Canada pretty quickly.
That's pretty cool, man. I like that. Awesome. All right. So by default, then, Mark or Brent, I should say, the next person to come on goes by the name of Mark. Blimey, what's that? Is it someone's?
It's sorry, I'm mute. It's our water pipes.
God, blimey!
Oh, I thought that was intentional. I thought that was a sound effect.
Jesus, someone just flushed the toilet or something, Mark. Is that what it is? Blimey.
I thought it was like a cruise liner.
Imagine living next to that. What the hell? It's me pipes. All right. That's a brilliant. We'll have to take that and clip that sound effect one day.
Wow. No wonder he's looking a bit flushed.
There he goes. Anyway, I tell you, I can't keep these. I don't know how you do it, Brent. How did you do it? Hold on, put these back on.
Here's how I do it. It's sunglasses at the very beginning of a couple of brickheads, and then you switch to the rose tinted glasses.
These are my favorite ones.
These have become. I just like these because it keeps. I hated having like ring lights on me for like 3 hours when I used to, whether it's a couple of brickheads or my own stuff. So I'm like, I need something to relax the eyes. I had some blue blockers, but I left them in a rental car in LA, so don't have those anymore.
That's what these are. These are blue blockers. I guess I could. But anyway, all right, good stuff, Brent. Brent's in. Brick stage passes. Stuart Harris is here, everyone. Super excited about that. Mark's here, and he's plumbing. And Basil is here as well. I can't believe that. That is the best plumbing.
We try being in the room where the pipes are literally underneath my feet.
That is crazy, man. That is just Anyway, I'll tell you something else that's made my night. Is getting this next. How can I describe him? He's a bit of a gentleman, really. He's kind of one of my fave Lego City builders, and all I could say was funny about a funny line is that his name rhymes with spooky. Is of course Mark, aka Mr. BOOKIEBOO. Hello, mate.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. Yeah, excited to be here.
Oh, let me just swap you around because Baz is the strong one. He's got the wide shoulders. He has. He can carry something. You're a big geezer. You know what I mean? I mean that with I've said.
I carry on the shoulder. I carry on the shoulders of men. Here we go.
Exactly. That's why I always say West Ham are a really good football team because we're at the bottom of the Premier League and we're kind of holding everyone else up. You know what I mean?
See you next season.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get relegated. We'll win the European Conference Cup and we'll get relegated at the same time. Anyway, Mark, Mr. BOOKIEBOO. I've been trying to get you on for months, and you are, and life happens, Mark. Life happens. We know
it
that.
Does. Yeah.
But tell us tell us a little bit about you, because now everybody's on. I can go around and ask people how their week's been and stuff like that. So first of all, but seeing as you're a newbie, same as Brent, tell us a little bit about you and your YouTube channel and Instagram and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, well, that's a really broad question. That's a good one. Basically, I started, collecting Lego as a kid, loved it, enjoyed it, and then kind of fell into the dark ages that I think we all have fallen into at some point, right? We all kind of, And then when my oldest son, who's now 17, I can't believe it, was still not quite born yet, I started being the dad, looking for the toys in the aisle, and I saw Lego fire truck. Went in the Lego aisle, and I was like, "Ooh, that caught my eye." I was like, "Oh, I used to build that when I was a kid." Picked it up, bought that, built it quick, loved it. Went back to the store the next day, got another set, and next thing you know, there it is. It just blew up, and it just became this thing. And at first, I think a lot of us start the same way. Like a lot of us, we just kind of build for ourselves. We just kind of do our thing. We're just having fun and doing it, kind of privately. And then I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna start posting this stuff. So I started posting. I had my very first mock that I made was Imperial Transport, and I posted that, and it got some good feedback. And then I just slowly, from there, it just started growing and growing and growing. And today, it's become this huge thing, and it's just so much fun engaging with the community, building, sharing my passion with like all of you and just everybody. It's amazing.
Well, that's it. That's interesting. So I tell you what. On that note, let's go around and just ask people like where they started, where they kind of maybe had it as a kid and then sort of fell out of love with it, or went into their dark age and then come back out of it again. Well, Brent, like I look at your Instagram, and I was looking at it the other day. I wasn't creeping on it or anything like that.
You got to do it. You got to sometimes.
It's called research, honestly.
Yeah,
it's called
exactly.
research. And I'm sort of thinking, well, your one's quite family orientated. Like I was choking up when your wife had given birth to a new child and stuff. I was like, oh my god, this is the side of Brent I've never seen before. Yeah,
right.
I follow you, and I think probably that's down to the fact that you are a big part of a couple of brickheads. Let's face it. And so you kind of, we see these different sort of layers of Brent's bricks. But tell us where you kind of got into it, maybe as a child, and then kind of came back into it again.
Yeah. So my Brent's Bricks Instagram used to just be my personal Instagram. So if you go back far enough, you'll see some skateboarding clips, some just random photos, just like any just regular Instagram account. But then eventually, obviously I turned it into just my wife always gives me crap like, you never post me on your Instagram. And I'm like, yeah, but it's my Lego account now. She always gives me crap like, you wouldn't even know you were married if somebody just was looking at your Instagram. I'm just like, hey, I don't even post selfies of myself that much anymore. It's usually Lego related stuff. I mean, had a dark age like most people, envious of those ones that never went through it. But I was 6 years old, 1999, when Lego Star Wars was first coming out. And then, of course, a couple years later, with the first Harry Potter wave. I think I posted a picture on my Instagram recently, actually, of me, probably like 8-year-old me in like a Spider-Man shirt in front of like the big Hogwarts, the very first one they ever made. I had almost the entire, but those were back when the Harry Potter didn't even have flesh tones. Like they were all yellow, and they had like they didn't even have like the new wand piece. It was very, very dated now when you compare it to the new stuff. But I was really into Harry Potter Lego, really into Star Wars, a little bit more into Harry Potter Lego at the time because I already had so many Star Wars toys. And so as a kid, I'm like, well, I already have X-Wings and TIE Fighters, the Hasbro ones or whatever. So I was really into Harry Potter, got almost the entire first wave of that. Was really into Bionicle too. Like Bionicle was a huge, I remember when McDonald's had Bionicle toys in the Happy Meals even. So those were really fun for me.
I heard about that because I heard that there was never enough ever made of that because they sold really, really well.
Oh, they were sweet. They were sweet. And Bionicle was a big one for me. I know nowadays it kind of catches a lot of flack Like it's almost like Ninjago. Like if you say you're into Ninjago and you're not really young, people kind of give you slack for it.
I tell you what, right? I tell you what I was going to do tonight, and I thought, I don't know, maybe because Stuart's on, or maybe I won't. I don't know, but I was actually, it was something I was watching from MrBookieboo a couple of weeks ago when you have in your city, Mark, a Ninjago area, but you've mixed it with Monkey Kid stuff. And in your mountain as well, in central to your mountain, you've got like this realm for Monkey Kid. And I was like, wow, what a great idea. And I was almost, the survey tonight was almost, what's your preference, Ninjago or Monkey Kid? But I thought, I know it triggers in. It triggers Greg's grandson over there because
I love Ninjago as well. Thank you very much.
I do as well. I love both.
There's room for both.
I'm notoriously Ninjago. I've got to be honest, and I've got the 3 modular sets to build as well. So I'm quite lucky there. But yeah. So do you know what I mean, Brent? It's kind of like you got to be careful because sometimes, especially when you're doing live streams like this, you kind of tread on eggshells sometimes because it's like how far can you go?
Of course,
without kind of disrespecting people that love certain themes, which I kind of like most themes, in all honesty.
Yeah. Even Friends is coming out with some heaters. I mean, like they got some stuff that's pretty cool as of late, especially.
I'll just say Friends sets for city building are fantastic nowadays.
Agreed.
Great.
One stepped it up.
100%.
I've got several mocks that I've done of different little, you just take them and just build them out, and they're fantastic because the colors are so much different, and it just works in the city. It's really good.
Yeah. No, I agree. They are, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Actually, now, Stuart, was you into Lego as a kid? Because I mean, I'm thinking, well, you're the guy here that works for Lego, and I'm thinking, well. Yeah, did you ever have a dark age, or did you ever think you wanted to ever work for Lego? Where did it all start for you?
Well, I mean, Lego was my favorite toy as a kid, and I have this distinct memory that when I was probably around 8 years old, and I remember playing on the living room floor, and I was really into building cars and stuff. And I remember my mum telling me, "You play with Lego so much, one day you're going to end up working for that company." And it was like, and that must have just stuck in the back of my mind, I guess, just as a sort of little seed. And it kind of blew my 8-year-old head to think people can't work for Lego. That can't be a real job. And I guess eventually it turned into one. Yes, I kind of had a dark age until sort of in my mid-20s when I actually started working for Legoland. When started working for Legoland Windsor, when they started that park up, and I became a model builder for Legoland, and that just it reignited my passion for the brand.
But because, now here's the thing, because you work for Lego, like, do you actually build many sets? Are you into any particular themes or anything like that, or are you like Mr. Mocker? You kind of build all your own stuff.
I guess I'm mocking 9 to 5. That's my day job. So actually, it's quite relaxing for me to build a set that someone else has designed, and I can, they've figured out how this thing's going to go together. It's actually quite nice to build a set that someone else has thought about. And I think my favorite theme is probably the Lego Ideas line, because it's such an eclectic series, and because it originated in the fan community. So for me, that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, and of course, only this week we've got the Tales of the Lego Space Age come out.
Yes,
I can't believe the quickness that they turned that round in, because that only went through a matter of months ago, wasn't it? That it qualified.
Yeah, although I guess from a structural point of view, it's a relatively easy one to get through, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It is. The only thing I've got with it is that you've got the 3 original ones. We'll have a look at it later, folks. We've got the. I'm just planting a seed here. You got the 3 original ones, and then you got this 4th one that the Lego designers have put in there. And I'm curious because I live in London. I go around on the underground a lot of the time, and I'm looking at this thing. I'm thinking, there's a lime green London Underground in cigarettes. I'm kind of like, so I'm trying to understand what it is, but I think that's the creative one. That's the Lego Input creative one. So it's kind of interesting to see, but we'll take a look at that later. But what I will say about it, the color that they've chose blends incredibly well with the other three. So that I am happy about. And I'm happy about it anyway. Like you say, Lego ideas. I love Lego ideas as well. Only this week, I actually got my White Wow, and it's a Lego idea set. So that's something that will be revealed in the future, folks. But I managed to get it, and I've been wanting it literally since the day I started YouTube. So I'm well pleased. And it's not even a particularly expensive set. It's just one I can't get hold of anywhere. What about you, Baz? Tell us, this is an interesting question because everyone goes through it. It seems to be everyone goes through this dark age. I mean, I started, personally speaking, I started my dark age very quickly, right? My dad, when I was a kid, hey, Craig. When I was a kid, my dad bought me an amazing Lego set, and it was the train set 7740, and it's the yellow and red one, right? And the great thing was, I got it, and I was like, oh my God, I love this, and I love trains. And then I started getting into Hornby, so I completely went into a dark age straight away. I got this brilliant set, magnificent packaging, and then I went into that, and then, I don't know, 35 years later, I got into it for real. And so that's that. But Baz, tell us a little bit about you and because you collect a lot of things, and that's why I find you uniquely interesting.
Yeah, I don't kind of stick to one thing really, but if we're talking Lego, I'm from the old school as well. I mean, I was born in 79, started getting my first Lego sets in 83, 84, so really young. Castle was my animal of choice, spending pocket money at Woolworths and places like that to get my first couple of small castle sets. And just progressed from there. Bought a couple of tan sets as well and small space sets, classic space sets, but moved into Pirates in about 89 when it came out. It blew my mind. It was like a whole new thing that blew my mind. So moved into Pirates, but very quickly in 92-ish, 93, 92, I went into my dark age. Yeah. Discover football, discover girls at school, that kind of stuff, and kind of left it behind. But as I said, I got fingers in all sorts of different pies. I had other interests and hobbies, a bit like you mentioned with trains and that, Hornby trains and stuff. So, and then I came out of my dark age about 2018, and this set was the set that brought me back.
Oh, let's have a look. I'm back from the dark age.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so this was a set I saw on eBay. I wanted a little thing to put on my desk just to remind me when I was a kid of what I loved. And I bought this set on eBay for quite cheap because I wasn't around for it when it was in promotion. And,
never seen it.
Yeah, it's a promotional set. They did a pirate one and a space one as well. Absolutely cool set. You get a little postcard in there, you get a little sticker set, you get a little booklet of how to build it with the history in the back and everything. It's fantastic. Absolutely love this thing. I actually bought about 4 of them.
I've got the set that I've got the set that got me back into Lego in 2015.
All right, the set that got you back into Lego. Look at this.
The Force Awakens Falcon.
Yeah.
So we did almost 4 hours on a couple of.
I know. I was going to watch some of that, and I was like, "Oh no, I'll have to listen to that another time."
And then I wake up this morning with my 1-year-old, and I'm like, I got done with the podcast, fell asleep, woke up, right back into one, and then I'm
into another one now.
Doing another one later, even tonight. So
phenomenal. What one are you doing later tonight? I'm curious.
So I'm doing. I'm drawing a huge blank right now. Brick Adjusters.
Brick Adjuster. Yeah, he does one with his wife.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Shout out there to Brick Adjuster as well.
Oh yeah.
So the Falcon. Why did the Falcon pull you back in again? You crazy Star Wars fan.
So really, when I came out of my dark age, going into my dark age, obviously, you get older, you discover girls and all this other stuff, and for me, like,
going on here, women are very bad for the guys when they're into Lego.
Big fact. Skateboarding was a big thing that kind of took me out of it, though. It even took me out of sports. So like, I stopped collecting toys. I stopped even playing sports. So I did nothing but skateboard and hang out with my friends for a good part of my teenhood. But Star Wars coming back when, of course, Disney bought Star Wars 2015, the Force Awakens merch was everywhere. This was it. And my mom, because I don't have, and to answer, your poll question, I don't have any of my childhood Lego, not one piece. And so I kind of made my mom feel guilty one year. She's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm kind of regretting, letting you give away all my Lego to the kids at school. So
Yeah, thanks, Mum.
can you give me this Millennium Falcon for Christmas? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And then it was all downhill from there.
Oh, phenomenal. Do you know what? I'm pretty. Do you know what? I've built one Millennium Falcon. I've got all the Millennium Falcon. I got from that one. I think that was one of the first ones I got. I might have got the one just before that one, then that one, and then I got the solo one. So you got the Kessel Run version, the white one that's quite different. I haven't actually built any of them yet. The only one, the only one I've actually ever built, other than the Microfighter, is this.
Yeah, but that's the best one.
I know, but it
might be.
It's ginormous.
I don't know.
It is. I'm scared to breathe on it. I really am. I was wearing a rucksack the other day, and I bent down here, plugged in something, and then I felt this move, the dish, and I was like, oh hello, what have I done? And I was like slowly moving around, and I thought I was gonna have to.
Oh, he's gone.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
I'm back. Don't worry. It's happened
It was a
before.
backpack again.
It was,
Yeah.
honestly, it's hard. But yeah, just don't go anywhere. Just don't even want to breathe on it because everything that sits on it and
Yeah.
slightly pinned. I was shocked when I built it. I was like, oh, there we go. It's got
I've got
Yeah,
the box for mine right
Yeah.
here.
See.
yeah. I like
Oh,
that.
there you go. Yeah.
He doesn't want to get it dusty.
I don't want
does
to get
look
it
good.
dusty.
Yeah.
Oh, because it is rather fragile, and so
Yeah.
it does. And I actually had to move it, so I moved about 2 years ago, and luckily it was a cross town move, so it wasn't too bad. But
yeah.
I actually drove across town with that thing. Can I have it
Yeah.
up on the stand
You
vertical?
got to.
I'm driving and like holding it behind me as I'm
Oh,
going
man.
like super
Oh, that's
slow on
funny,
the road.
man.
It made it. I only lost the dish and like one panel fell off, but it made it. But it was
Dude,
that
that's
was
nice.
a wild
Battle
yeah,
damage.
yeah.
Battle damage.
I went through a similar thing because I had to move my Falcon, and luckily it was not a far drive. But I laid down in the back of my SUV, like cuddling my UCS Falcon while my buddy is driving. I don't make many TikToks at all, but I made a TikTok of that, and it like
You got
whatever.
to, man.
got a decent amount of views, and so many of the comments were like, I was waiting for the moment where you finally got it to the house and then just dropped it. Everybody wishes to see you fail.
Oh, they want to. They want. It's a bit like I no longer. One of the big questions I always ask people, Stuart, is what would you? Like, I was going to ask people, what would you like me to build on May the 1st? The X-wing, or maybe the final duel between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, the diorama that's coming out for that. And I thought it's pointless because everyone's just going to want me to do the X-wing. Because they always want you to spend the most expensive thing because they're like that, and you lot are as well. They always want you to go to expensive. Was that the Kessel Run Falcon that you've got there as well?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
So I bought it at actually bought it at Brick World Chicago last year.
Woohoo!
The sticker, it says paid, but really it should just say ouch because of how much I paid for it.
No, is it expensive? Is it really expensive?
It covers the cost for a reason.
I don't want to talk about it. It was like $285. Yeah. Let's see. What does it say under there?
Do it with a hairdryer. Get your wife's hairdryer or something and use it on there. Oh God, he's going for it. No.
We're good.
Oh, he's good.
But
He's done it.
I was gonna
Easy
try to.
peel
got it.
stickers.
Yeah, you can
I'm
frame
pretty
that now.
sure under this sticker, instead of saying paid, it was two. Oh yeah, I
This
can
is like
read it through this.
Target special deal, $20 or something.
It was $295. Yikes!
Dude. Okay. All right. So while I got you on big screen, $295.
Oh.
Keep that. Get your money's worth out of it.
I know, right?
Tell what minifigures did you get? Because if I remember rightly, you got a decent.
Yeah. So you get some exclusives in there for sure. So you got.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll go ahead and
Lando. You get a good Lando, don't you? In that one?
yep. Try it without knocking over my mic.
Oh, look at it.
The Lando is awesome, and I think those are exclusive too. These guys came in a bunch of other solo sets, but yeah, the Lando is awesome. The Donald Glover Lando,
And he's
Young
coming
Lando.
back. They are. He's coming back as.
Oh, is he?
Lando. Yep.
I
They
completely
announced it.
didn't catch any Star Wars Celebration stuff. And I'm a big Star Wars fan, so.
Oh, dude, it was so good. I've never been to anything like it. I mean, the queues were quite massive, to say the least. This is that. Baz's #1 fan. We've got a Baz's #1 fan out there.
Yes, I've made it. I've made it. Yes.
He's on the panel tonight.
That's #1 fan.
I love the picture as well.
Oh Lord,
I love it. Seriously,
Got to be Scotty.
Do you reckon it is? Yeah, we've not seen Scotty yet.
If it's not, he'll be jealous because he thinks he's Baz's #1 fan.
Oh,
#1
no.
fan.
What can we say?
No one can replace you, Scotty.
We love Scotty. He was nice to have him streaming with us the other day as well. But yeah, so is it, Brent? Is the Millennium Falcon kind of like your prized possession? In terms of that's your favorite ship from Star Wars?
I don't know if it's my favorite ship, but I think it's easily my favorite set of all time. Now, am I going to sit here and say that it's the best Star Wars set ever? I mean, I don't know, because there's UCS Slave 1s, there's the UCS Imperial Shuttle. Yeah. But to me, like, it was kind of I didn't exactly like jump right back into Lego. I kind of just put my feet in the water, and then I stepped into the shallow end a little bit. But when I started dating my wife, and my stepdaughter at the time was 2, so she was old enough to just skip Duplo altogether and just get straight into Lego. And then Lego Masters came out. Then finally I got fully back into Lego. And then around the pandemic time, that's when I got the UCS Falcon, and I was still really fresh back into Lego. I didn't even know sets were I didn't even know they made them that big. So I finally get the thing, and it just blew my mind that they made a Lego set that was that huge. And so, and my buddy would come over every once in a while to work on it with me. And big shout out to him, because most of the time he just organized my pieces.
I know, that takes ages as well.
I got a pit crew over here. Yeah, it was nice. But he would text me like, "Hey, did you work on the Falcon?" I'd be like, "I only did like 1 bag." He'd be like, "Don't do that much without me. I want to see it built." It was like we were watching. It's like we were watching a TV show together. But no, very nostalgic. That said, it's just my first really, really large Lego build, and I mean, it's epic, man. I mean, I feel like if you're a big Lego Star Wars fan, you have to have it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
there's a reason it's been on the shelves for how many years now? Since 2016 or 17. So I think
so. About 2016, 2017. What do you reckon, Stuart? Does that sound about right? I think that seems about right. That one.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I get mixed up with the Sony versions. So it's,
yeah. I still think there's been more Luke's land speeders out there, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I actually just thinking of throwing it out there, folks. Can anybody in the chat tell me this, or maybe in the panel? Have they actually ever done a Luke's land speeder microfighter? Because I'm pretty sure they haven't.
If they don't, they need to do that really soon. They've hit every scale almost. So.
But I'm saying that. I mean, Stuart, just feed it back for us. Feed it back.
I don't know.
Just utilize you as a kind of feed. Yeah. Please feed this information back.
Was it in an advent calendar? Did they ever have a micro one in there?
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, it's been an advent calendar.
Yeah. But in an advent calendar, but not a microfighter. The advent calendar one's really good. But yeah, no, as a microfighter, because we've got the N1 Starfighter coming out soon, haven't we, Baz? As a microfighter, so that's going to be pretty good. Well, I say, I mean, people keep saying and reviewing it, going, "Oh, it's a bit short and stumpy," and I'm like, "But that's microfighters. That's what they're meant to be like."
Well, it's the second time, because there's already been one, isn't there? There's been one from the Boo N1 Starfighter that came out.
Oh yeah,
in microfighter form.
The yellow one. Yeah. Oh, good shout, man. Good shout. So Brent was talking about large structures and things like that. Stuart, large structures is kind of your thing. Whenever I think of a large Lego structure, I mean, I watch Lego Masters Australia, and I'm thinking, nothing on Stuart Harris.
Anything less than 1 million bricks, I'm not interested.
Oh, I like it. So, what was? Have you got like a favorite sort of large structure that you've ever done? That you
it's a tricky one. It's like when I get asked this kind of question, I always answer like it's like saying, who's your favorite child? You might have one, but you're not going to tell anyone. So, but I think, I mean, for me, it probably has to be like the Tree of Creativity, because that was such an epic undertaking. You know, 6.3 million bricks, 10.5 tons of bricks. It's 15.68 meters tall, 50 feet tall, and it's, you know, so it was 24,000 hours to build it. So yeah, it was a pretty major undertaking. So I think probably that one.
How many people worked? I mean, that is a project. That's months. I mean, I'm presuming it's months, isn't it? They're doing something like that.
It is months. And if you actually kind of equate it into man years, typically you work 2,000 hours a year. So it's like 12 years of work for one person to build something like that. You know, working every day. You could probably do it in 10 if you work the weekends and didn't take a holiday, but you know, it's still a major undertaking.
Yeah, so. As soon as you said everyone not taking holiday, everyone's like, "Oh no, I don't want that." I need my tea breaks.
But it varied, because it was built in the Czech Republic. That's where our main sort of European model shop is, and so they have, you know, dozens, hundreds of model builders there, and they basically worked on 3 shifts, so it's 24-hour a day working on building this stuff. So the shift size varied from, you know, night to daytime kind of thing. So I think they actually built it in about 9 months, with all these different people working on different parts of it at the same time. But usually, like, a branch would probably be somewhere between 2 and 4 people working on that, and a trunk section might be sort of 3 or 4 people, and then the roots, I think, were about 6 people. So it varied.
That's incredible. I mean, that's a weird thing to go to work and sort of spend a couple of months working on, isn't it?
On the same thing. Yeah.
Can you imagine, get home in the evening and your partner says, "Oh, what did you get up to today?" "I was building a trunk, made a Lego," and then a few weeks later,
thing for months.
Can you imagine
the trunk?
Built more with the trunk. Exactly. How's the trunk going? "Oh, it's going all right." What colours did you use today?" "Oh, just a bit more brown."
Except the project was confidential, so you couldn't tell anyone what you were working on. You just used more brown bricks today. That was it. So.
Board of brown.
Yeah, more brown. Did at any point when you was doing that, did you ever run out of Lego at all, or was you?
No, I mean, it's quite a it's a well-oiled machine, the Klatno, the Czech model shop where they build it. So, you know, they've built it all digitally first, so they know how many bricks they're going to need, so they're planning ahead. And I think it's like a 5-week brick ordering window that they need to work in. So, you know, they're sort of they know what they need and when they need it. So, you know, provided it doesn't go wrong and they need to scrap something, then you're usually okay.
Wow, that's impressive. That really is. Someone asked a question in the chat earlier on. I forget now who it is, so I do apologise. But they said, "Who actually does all the dusting of those massive, great big constructions?"
It's funny you ask, because actually some of our most viewed social media content is us cleaning the models. And I don't know why, but I guess maybe it's because everyone can relate to it. And, you know, so we have a very sort of talented cleaning team and facility guys and girls that manage the upkeep of all the models. And basically they do it the same as everyone else. So it's a mix of, you know, brushes, vacuum, compressed air. Of course, cleaning something like a 50-foot tree it's quite an operation. You need to get sort of hoists and cranes and stuff in to do something like that. But it's basically the same principle as everyone else.
The thing is, it is completely relatable. There's a couple of things that's always very relatable. I see when I'm kind of watching, especially Instagram and stuff like that. You lot tell me what you think out there too. But there's cleaning Lego, and I'm going to do a video on that probably in a few weeks or so. I'm waiting for Studio One to get really dusty. I've not dusted it in months and months and months, and then I can do a bit of a tour and show people how I clean stuff. But also how people organise their Lego bricks. Mark, MNRK, I should say, not MrBookieboo, but I am going to ask you, Mr. Bookiebboo. But Mark, how do you've got a thing about organising stuff? Like you're like a human personal organizer,
a micro organizer. Yeah. So,
how do you do yours?
So obviously, when I did my YouTube videos of organising Lego, I wanted to do it kind of as a kind of memory book. So like I'm in a different place now, so it's kind of like a snapshot of of how I organize Lego and how it works for me. And I always find that, you know, I know we hear it all the time, but it is so true. You organize your Lego how you organize your Lego. It's very individual. So it's how you creatively think. So whether it's by color, whether it's by piece, whether it's by both, you know. And so for me, I organize by piece, but then subsort by color, but normally in the same container if I can. So I will stack plates and bits and pieces. When it gets to things like tiles and plates, I will do them by color and segment out said colors into a drawer. I might grab a drawer and show you what I mean. See if I've got one to hand. So this here is just an example. So this is just a small amount of my pieces. So these are some of my line plates, and a lot of them haven't been opened because I've moved. So a lot of them I haven't accessed for a while. But what I do is I will have, if I haven't got that many of a piece, I will organize them by color. If I've got more, then I will subsort them into the sizes. So I will start with 1x2, and then I'll do 1x3, 1x4, etc., just so that I've got a few available. But I won't do all of them, so I'll have a select for you, then I'll have my bulk stored elsewhere. But for me, that really works, because I get inspired by pieces. That's how I build. That's how I create mocks. I will see pieces and I will look at pieces. So for instance, this little thing I've built here for the removal truck, I will see this build, and I've got a room for it already. You know, I've already constructed in my mind a room just based on this, using the colors and the styles of this. So
have you built the piano yet for that set?
I have.
Do you know what? I was the other day, because I took mine somewhere and I took a picture of it on a piano, and then I brought it home and I put it over there, and then I was like, 2 weeks later, I'm thinking, I've got to put this back, and I was going through all my modulars, thinking, where did I get this from? And then it suddenly struck me, oh no, I didn't get it from that at all. I got it from the removal truck.
Yeah, it's
really good, isn't it?
It is. The thing is that it really goes to show that you really don't need a lot of pieces to create something. I mean, that is phenomenal, and something as small as that I can get inspired by, and I can, in my mind, I've already built something based on that. So having those pieces all organized, and mentally I then know what I've got, and I try and use what I've got a lot of. So, for instance, you know, if the pad ball had a whole bunch of masonry bricks, so I've got loads of masonry bricks in light bluish grey, for instance. Yeah. So if I've got loads of those, then my next build will factor that in as its main piece, because it's amazing having them in storage drawers, amazing having them all organised. But if I'm not going to use them, then that's surely wasteful, because I'm not actually utilising. I bought them, I want to build with them. So, I try and do that, but my collection my piece collection far outgrows my space. So there's always more I can do.
Time, space, money. They're the three things. You can have two of those, but you can't have all three. That is definitely a thing. Time, space, and money, folks.
So I love how you said the pieces inspire you, because shout out to Rich Boy J, who our guest from last night. Great mock builder. By the way, Sean came up with a great nickname for Rich Boy J. Grand Mock Tarkin.
Oh,
I think that's fabulous.
I like that one.
That's so dope. Grand Mock Tarkin. He's
a proper marketing boy, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
He really is.
But Rich Boy J always said he kind of he likes to let the pieces speak to him, you know, and just kind of whatever pieces he had, you know, kind of like what you said, like take inspiration from the pieces instead of kind of having an idea that you can't accomplish, but from what you do have, you know.
So have some pieces, have some elements, and then think, well, what can I build from that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think honestly, the greatest art, folks, comes from the people that give themselves certain constraints. It really does, because otherwise it's too easy.
But you can get lost in pieces, can't you? I mean, you think how many different elements there are. There's literal thousands of elements. It's so easy to be overwhelmed and want all of them. But if you're not going to do anything with them once you've got them, then it's not giving those pieces the justice that they have been created for. You know, they want to be built, they want to be utilized. So, you know, I have lots of, when I see a piece and I buy it, I already have something in mind. So, another one of my drawers I've got here. So, I've got pieces that, you know, might not make sense to other people as to why they're together, but for me, I've got the kind of ingot pieces in tan, and then I've got these jumpers in gold. Now, for me, these ingot pieces straight away call out building facades to me, because they make really awesome building facades. On the sides, you can have them as kind of bricks that are exposed, and you can have 1x1 tiles in between those to kind of give that illusion of 1 brick, 2 brick, 1 brick, 2 brick on the side. But then you can also have them on their sides going upwards and frame windows and doors. So when I saw those, I was like, I'll grab a bunch of those, because tan is a great color to work with when you're building buildings, because it's you know, it's got quite an earth tone to it, and a lot of buildings do go with those. But you know, the gold jumper plates as well, you know, accent on the floor with those. So if you've got like a grand hall, straight away you can have like offset those against white 2x2 tiles and intersect those, and you've got a really grand floor that you can pose pieces and minifigures on, and that's all from just that one piece. So it's you know, that it's just using them and kind of having an idea of what you want to use them for.
Yeah, and thank God for Bricklink as well. Now, talking of which, we've got Bricklink. We all love our Bricklink, but someone uses lug bulk quite a lot. That'll be Craigster. Now, Craigster, just looking at your parts collection, I know it's pretty vast. But all that over there on the right-hand side, you've recently just reorganized all that, haven't you?
Yes, I did.
And
it was painful.
But worth it?
I don't know, because I still don't know where everything is yet. My brain hasn't cottoned on to where I put them.
Oh, your muscle memory hasn't kicked in for it yet.
It'll kick in eventually. I keep going over there where I knew a part was, and it's not there anymore.
But how do you, have you got a particular way in which you organize yours, or you just basically get a tray and put a sticker on it with the part piece on it?
Yeah, I put a tray with a sticker on, but they're all organized in categories. So I realized that because I build here, all my basic bricks need to be here, the staple bricks. The more complicated bricks, like the Technic bricks that I don't use as often, are over there. And then stuff at the top, again, stuff I don't use, so I don't have to reach up for it. So that's what I did. I rejigged it to suit my building style.
Yeah, that's totally cool, man. And you've got a lot of elements there. Roughly how many trays have you got? How many of those?
Was it 1,185? Did we say?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Baz, I think Baz worked it out mathematically.
It was
1,188, if I remember right.
Nice. I like that.
Plus all the stuff underneath. That's just that.
That's just what you could see. Yeah,
not these drawers.
Wow, amazing. I'm intrigued, actually. I'm going to ask MrBookieboo the same question, but before I do, Brent, I hear you talking a lot about Lego Star Wars sets and stuff like that, and I do build a lot of sets. I build a lot of sets. I'm a Lego YouTuber. What can I say? I'm going to build a lot of sets, aren't I? It's a fact. But at the moment, I'm quite lucky. Most of the time, I'd probably say 1 in 25 sets I'll break down because I know I'm not going to keep it, or I just want to use the parts maybe.
Yeah.
Are you at that point where you're mostly just building it at the moment, or do you sort of think to yourself, "Oh no, I've actually got a parts collection, and I will kind of use that from time to time"?
So since I've moved recently, we moved still less than a year ago. Like this, I'm in my Lego room now, but it's like still not even set up. Like I've got stuff somewhat organized. My backlog is insane. I've got 2 closets full right over here to the right of me. It's insane. But I mean, in terms of like, I really haven't done much mocking. I mean, there's been a lot of sets that I've bought multiples of with like a plan in my head to make a mock, but I really like just collecting, and I do like displaying. So eventually I'll have a lot of shelves in here, but that being said, everybody has a space problem. Everyone's always running out of space, especially if you're buying UCS sets. So I have under this table behind me one of those giant, yellow Lego bags you get at the Lego store, just full. I don't even. If you hear this behind me,
it's the big paper ones, yeah.
Yeah. If I picked it up, let's see if it breaks.
Oh wow!
I mean,
wow, that is full, man.
It is absolutely bursting at the seams.
That is girthy, as you guys like to say.
Absolutely. So yeah, there's just just random set after random set. And I mean, when I was moving, like, I still don't have as much like, Tupperware plastic containers as I should. But when I was moving, I just kind of threw everything in a bag. And that's what I told Sean, because Sean just moved across the United States from West Coast back to East Coast. So I just told him, I'm like, hey man, just big plastic bags are your best friend. If you have a lot of, because they're not. I mean, I think Shy. Shout out to Shy Time if he's in the chat still. He told him, he's like, it's just Saran wrap, because he was really worried about his daily bugle, and he's like, just take each floor apart, Saran wrap it, and then put it in a box, bubble wrap. But luckily, my move was only 5 minutes away from my previous house, and Sean was moving across the United States. Oh yeah, he had a lot farther to go than me.
Well, he was taking days off, like when he was traveling across America. I mean, that shows you how vast it is. I mean, we could go from
I mean, he took his time. Yeah.
Oh, did he? He took his time.
He took a leisurely trip. I think it took him about maybe 10 days, almost 2 weeks. But they were taking their time. They had the kids with them and stuff. So
he
did a couple of episodes from the podcast, just like from his car.
I love that.
It's like Sean from the road tuning in.
You got to do it. You got to do it. It's commitment. It's commitment. You got to do it. Well, Stuart, that asks a curious question. I didn't think I'd be asking you this tonight, but okay, you build something quite large. I mean, let's face it, it's a fact. Stuart Harris, large construction is synonymous. But how do you then get it from A to B? Like, say you were sending it to, I don't know, Australia or something like that. How would you get it there? Would you?
Well, like, for example, the tree was built in the Czech Republic and, of course, needed to come to Denmark. And basically, we filled, I think it was 14 trucks with the tree. But it's glued, of course. So we use a lot of Craggle because it's a permanent installation, and also for safety reasons. People are walking underneath it. And also when you're cleaning it, you don't want to knock it over and spend another 24,000 hours building it again. Wow. Plus, the instruction manual is about 20 feet square. So you need to, you need it to be permanent. So these are glued, and if they're a very big model, then we might put steel in the middle of it so that we can bolt that to the floor to stop it sort of moving or whatever. So it's so it is quite an engineering challenge to do some of these big stuff, and so we actually have a lot of engineers in the model shop who do a lot of engineering calculations, static loads, and all that kind of stuff to engineer these giant models. They're quite an undertaking.
But you're talking thousands just to transport it, really, as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's doing some of that big stuff. You have to have a whole plan on how you're going to install it. For example, in the Lego house, you need to figure out, okay, how many components is it going to need to be, because it needs to fit into the elevator. Where are we transporting it through? The whole sort of logistics of getting it into its location. So the dinosaurs can't have their heads on, we need to put the tails on separately, all that kind of stuff that needs to be sort of taken into account.
Wow, that's brilliant. Now, just before I ask Mr. BookieBoo how he organizes his Lego, because let's face it, folks, it is a thing. I just want to thank KO, King Oldendorf, for 5 beautiful sterling pounds. Don't forget to super chat Greg to give to him and his grandson, MNRK. He's only about 2 years younger than I am, honestly.
Greg.
But anyway, on that, let's have a bit of Star Wars. Let's have a bit of Star Wars.
No.
Mark, detach cable.
Detach cable. Cable detached.
Thank you very much for that, okay. Super appreciate
Best Star Wars movie of all time.
Oh, dude, I love it. Empire Strikes Back. Do you know what, though? I will say this. Some days I wake up and I think to myself, I think today Rogue One's going to be my favorite ever Star Wars film.
Rogue One's good, but there's...
It's that end scene, man. That end scene where he goes through the corridor. I love cheering him.
Yeah, I mean, I love movies in general, but I feel like Empire Strikes Back, it might be my favorite movie out of every movie I've ever seen. And I know it's everybody's favorite Star Wars movie, and it's like kind of cliche to be like, oh yeah, Empire's the best. But It just is, man. It just is. Like I can't even think of anything in Empire that I would change or that isn't good. But my mind is still on Star Wars because we did 4 hours talking about Star Wars movies last night. So I won't go on too much of a rant there.
No. It's cool. I was speaking to that was the beauty of Star Wars Celebration. What was great for me was I got to meet 3 designers. Henrik was there. These are all mates of Stuart. These ones, I bet they are. Henrik, which is the sort of lead Star Wars designer. I even threw at him. I'm not gonna lie. I did. He's very well media trained. I even threw at him the possibility of some rumors that were coming out. And his eye, he didn't flicker. He's got poker face tastic. It really was. I won't say exactly what I said, folks, but I tell you what, it was quite interesting. But he's a top guy, and so is Jackson, who's designed the diorama for the Return of the Jedi, the last duel between Vader and Luke, and that. The amazing thing, that's his first ever Lego set that he's designed.
Wow.
And you know what? A lot of people, I'm still thinking day one getting that. I really am. And then the other guy I met, Jamie, oh my God, he looks like a rock star. He's so cool. He's designed the speeder chase through Endor. So very exciting. I loved it. And I got a bit, I'm not just saying it because Stuart's here. I generally love the fact that Lego were there in an abundance. And I put this video up today. I think it was today, it might have been last night actually. The last 2 days have kind of merged into one. And there was a droid. There was a part where I'm chatting away to a design, and then suddenly I saw this probe droid just going past. And it literally, the video, it looks like it's floating. It looks amazing. It looks really good. And I think it's had something like 5,000 views today. So thank you very much to anyone who took a look at that. Now, someone who I was quite surprised at, I couldn't believe it when I kind of dug a little bit deeper into his repertoire, is you, Mr. BookieBoo. Tell us a little bit about how you organise your bricks and your fascination with Star Wars as well.
Sure. Well, so that's probably like the second most common question I get is the first one is obviously, where do you get your bricks from? Where do you buy them? It's typical, Bricklink, bricks and pieces, breaking down sets. But the second one is, how do you sort your Lego? So I'm a little different, but I subscribe to the theory that like whatever works for you is best. And for me, I sort by color first. So all these bins you see over my shoulder here, they're all by color. Now, obviously you get, the bins are kind of smaller, so you'll see, but you can see the kind of the rainbow effect going on there. If I have a lot of a certain color, then what I do is I break it down by type. So you'll see plates, bricks, tiles, wedges, things like that. So light bluish gray, which I love working in light bluish gray, dark bluish gray. Those are actually right next to me over here in my workspace. And then all the other ones are kind of over my shoulder here behind me. But it's color and then by type if I have a lot of them. And honestly, nowadays, I mean, I've accumulated so much that I have multiple color bins, but then it's breaks out by type. And it makes it pretty easy for me. I can get in there. I can find what I want pretty quickly. And it's kind of unique, though, because I know most people tend to go by type and then maybe color. They kind of go the opposite way. And then, of course, I have bins and bins of bulk brick that I just will probably never sort in my lifetime.
We all love that.
It's just right. It's just And then those, I try to bribe my kids. I bribe everyone. No one's interested. I bribe my parents. I'm like, hey, you want to make some money? No one's interested in sorting for me. So I don't know. There's definitely a market out there for Lego sorters.
I tell you what, I got a lot of Lego sorted. My wife 2 months ago, she had a hip operation. So she was off work for say 6 weeks, I think it was. She's back now, folks. Everything's fine. It's brilliant. In fact, she walks around quicker than she did before. It's quite disconcerting. But while she was off, I just used to say, "Do you mind sorting these for us?" And she used to. She really did. It was great. I even had the odd. I bought a secondhand set. I don't buy that many secondhand sets, but this was the when I built this, the amazing. Best gift we purchased, in my opinion, one of, at least in the top 5. This here is so good. I love it, honestly. And I don't know, folks, you know how I feel about it. I kind of, it's just awesome Lego. And because I got this one, Mark, I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to get the original one, the Invader. So I did. I got it when I was at a brick festival, and I got home. It was only something like 300 pieces, but I said, "Can you do us a favor? Can you just check all the parts there?" And she did. So it's just stuff like that. So in every cloud there's a silver lining. That's what I was saying. But yeah. So anyway, sorry, Mark. Back to you about the way you sort stuff, and of course your minor Star
and of
Wars
course,
obsession.
so the Star Wars stuff, so I saw the original A New Hope in the theaters when I was a little kid. My dad took me, saw it, loved it. Star Wars has been a thing for, I've been a Star Wars nut for my whole life. And even in the areas when it wasn't cool, Star Wars kind of died out after the original trilogy, and it was kind of, we kept it on the down low. We had to keep our Star Wars love kind of hidden. And then we had the resurgence with the prequels, the sequels, and we've just been on this roller coaster. It's been amazing. And I actually have up here, I don't know if let's see if I can show you guys. So I actually have up here, you can see them. So those are some original, the first wave.
Oh my word!
Mint
Beautiful.
in the box. Yeah.
Oh,
So I've got the whole first wave up there, and I've just been collecting. So of course the Lego. Again, it started with City, kind of just. I'm not sure what I'm. Yeah, there you go. See, yeah,
that's a nice one.
Fantastic.
Dude,
this might have been my first.
Yeah.
Might have been my first Star Wars set ever. If my 5-year-old memory, if I can remember that far back.
Is that still sealed?
Oh yeah, this is sealed, and then this one wasn't the first wave, but that was from like 2001 or 2 or something.
Yeah,
this is a good flex.
This one right here too. It's crazy because these retailed for like $7, and I bought
it's
these for
nothing.
Like $50 now on eBay sealed.
Yeah,
that's mad, and that's
Really
just crazy. So you got really into Star Wars, MrBookieboo, and you've built some mocks as well, haven't you? You've done.
I have, yeah. I've done quite a few, yeah. So what I love about Lego, and this is a compliment to Stuart and all the designers, is they make these sets and you see them and you're like, oh, that's awesome, I'm gonna get that, and that's it. But then what I love doing is I love taking the set and then I just kind of like start modifying it and making it my own. So I go, Jabba's Palace was one of the very early mocks that I've done, and that was kind of I didn't expect it to take off. I just made a YouTube video about this mock that I made based on the original official Jabba's Palace, and it really took off. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. People are really into this. People are really excited to see these things. And so what I've done is I've done that. So I've actually on my 5th version of Jabba's Palace, because I just keep refining it, making it bigger and better and more to my liking. And the same thing with the Jedi Temple. I mean, I can show you. Let's see. Again, I can
definitely, because
I can take you guys on a quick little tour, so you can see. So Jabba's Palace here. You can see. Let's see if I can get that right. There we go. So that's my Jabba's Palace that I've been working on, and
let's do that. Here we go.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So that's the Jabba's Palace, and so it's
cool.
I kind of wanted to make it more true to the original. The one from the movie or from Book of Boba Fett. And so this one, the entrance is kind of actually more on the side as opposed to the front. But that
Baz has probably seen this like a billion times on films and TV, haven't you, Baz?
Oh,
yeah.
billion one.
And then this, so this is the other one that I've been working on right now. So
there we go.
This is my Jedi Temple. So it's like micro scale, not minifigure scale, because space. But I added the lights to it, and so this is what I've been really kind of focusing on lately, is this, and trying to get this ready to go. I'm hoping to display this at some shows. Got a few little things I want to finish on it, but so those are I love it
looks seamless. I mean there's hardly any studs on show on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, that one was that was kind of a new design element for me to try to do it without the studs, just all tiles, lots of snot techniques, lots of just using lots of slopes and tons of slopes, lots of Bricklink orders. I mean, it was crazy, but it's just fun, and it's completely modular, so it's transportable. And that's the other thing. When I try to design, I think, oh, maybe someday I'm going to move. Maybe someday I want to take it to a show. And a lot of people get into that trap, and especially like not to jump around too much, but with city building too, people get into that trap where they build these awesome, huge layouts, but they just smash all the plates together. And next thing you know, they're messaging me and I say, hey, MrBookieboo, how do you move things around so often? I'm like, well, it's all modular. I took my cue from the modulars. Everything I do is modular. So anything large scale, even Jabba's Palace, that's a little fragile because it's more curved and it's a little more difficult to work with. But even that is somewhat modular. It splits in half. You can take the top off. You can take the top floors off. So everything I do, I kind of keep an eye on it to make it portable and movable. So,
yeah, I know
yeah.
someone else exactly the same mindset as you.
Yeah.
Baz, I'm going to ask you a question in a minute as well, Baz, about your pocket money sets. But before I do, Craigster, you do several kind of Lego shows a year, and I remember back in the day you were telling me how you kind of transport your stuff around, and you kind of do the same as what MrBookieboo does, and you modularize everything.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about why you do that.
Transport.
It's just easier to get it around and less.
Yeah, you see all the people struggling, and I like to go to the show. Turn up, bang on the table, done. Or faffing around. Then at the end, when everyone's packing up, I'm like in the boxes, and I'm out of there. I'm not wasting any time. And that comes. So I'll do all the prep for how it's going to be transported. The third iteration of the build. So the first build is the design. The second one is sort of modifying it and checking it. And the third one is then going, right, it now needs to be able to be transportable. So I'll have to break it down, fix it again.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool, man. Honestly, it's that is such a good idea. So anyone out there who's thinking of doing shows and stuff like that, do it in such a way that you can modularize everything and safely transport it. That's the thing, because you'll only do it once, and then you'll realize why people do it, and it might take a little bit
in your
more
car
time.
as well. That's another thing everyone forgets. It's got to go neatly in your car, because you don't want to go around a bend or a roundabout and hear it go crunch because you haven't planned it properly.
No, especially if you spend hours building it,
Yeah.
like you dedicate so much time towards doing it. The last thing you want to do is get to, a couple of meters away from the venue and suddenly crunch. And all that hard work is just
I tell you
in
what,
the back.
I've got to tell you a funny story. I don't think I've ever told anyone, not live anyway. When I was a kid, I was about 22, and by that point, I'd been married about 3 years. So this was.
You have the waterbed at this point.
No, I didn't have the waterbed at this point. Waterbed came in about 10 years later. So this was with wife number one, folks. Lovely lady, lives in Australia now. And so anyway, so we were outside B&Q's in East London, and I think we had an argument. And we was all huffy like this, and basically, I basically just want. She was obviously in the passenger seat, and I just bought some really big, expensive tins of paint, and it was just white paint. And the argument was about the fact that why did we spend so much money on white paint, and essentially, like, brilliant white paint is as cheap as chips. But because she wanted handkerchief white paint, right, it meant it was about another £20 a tin. So just because it had a fancy name to it. So anyway, so we had this argument, and I just drove off. And of course, anyone who knows B&Q's in East London would know that you've got to go around a roundabout. And of course, I went round a roundabout, and the paint tins are in the footwell, and the paint tins went over on their side, and I couldn't believe it. It was like slow motion. The tin just went dump like that, opened up, and then the paint just really slowly oozed out onto the footwell. And I was like, like that. And I just went up to another level of anger very quickly. And then I drove back round to her where she was, and I said, "Look, I'm really sorry. Just jump in the car. But, we'll go home and we'll go for a meal or something like that." And she opened up the door and looked at me and just laughed. And that was it. That killed off that argument. But it was a funny moment. And
you can't ever look at handkerchief white ever again.
It was ridiculous. It really was. But anyway, good fun nonetheless. Stud Sidious out in the chat. He says, "I love no studs exposed. That's the style I like to build. Gets expensive though. It does, but it looks good. I quite like builds with studs, showing studs, because it's Lego. But I definitely know a lot of people don't. That's for sure. UCS Lego house, anyone? Yeah, that could be a thing. That would be rad. KO. The small architectural style set of the Lego house is awesome. Someone actually sent me in a picture. A couple of people actually have sent me in a picture of the Lego house. They must have known. They knew, Stuart, that you worked at the Lego house. That's what it is. Minifiku says, "I imagine the worst thing when transporting sets to Lego shows is speed bumps." Oh yeah, speed bumps. How do you negotiate a speed bump, Craig?
You get yourself an SUV for a start, because they're usually better at going over speed bumps and not something with low profile tires. And I line all my really useful boxes with, that plastic air-filled stuff you get from Amazon. I just
Mhm.
cut it up and stick it inside the really useful boxes. That does.
There you go, folks. We got you covered. Any questions, just throw them our way.
So you don't do a Sandra Bullock and just speed it up and hope for the best.
People do.
Keep the
People
puppy
do.
the entire way.
People really do. So Baz, tell us a bit about, because you've got this funny little theme that you do. I say it's a funny little theme. It's much better than a funny little theme. It's a really interesting one because you go back to when you was a kid and you used to buy sets, pocket money sets, like what Brent got there. It was like $8 or something like that. A little Star Wars set. So oh, there we go. He's flexing. Look at him. He's like, anyone would think we're playing this. Show us a couple of these sets. So these sets would have come out when you was a kid.
Yeah, these sets would come out when I was a kid. These are just a couple of boxes. The sets are on display, but yeah, pocket money sets. So basically, sets. I mean, what would you call it nowadays? Polybags, that kind of thing, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
I suppose so. Yes,
I just don't think you could have beat the sets back in the day for pocket money sets. My favourite set, I wouldn't call it a pocket money set, but I did. I'd have to save up maybe 3 or 4 weeks pocket money to get this one, which would have been about £9 in Tesco's at the time.
Wow.
This is my favourite all-time set. I absolutely adore the twin arm launcher. And I did actually buy this as with my pocket money.
I love the horse. The horse is gorgeous.
Well, it's the only set, I think, where you got a mounted soldier instead of a mounted knight that's ever been. So
It's lovely.
it's
I like the shield as well.
The shields are unique, and I love them, the original shields. Like
I still don't understand why they don't bring back Castle, just like make it an evergreen theme again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of. I mean, we have Castle sets, but like it's like we have the blacksmith, we have the Lion Knight's Castle, and then every once in a while a 3-in-1 comes out. But
yeah,
could you? I mean, look what they do with Harry Potter. It's like you get all these modular pieces of a castle. Like, could you imagine if they had a full line of all these like pieces of a castle, and it's this big modular thing? I mean, I think Hive brought that up one time.
But there's something missing that could be done nowadays, in my opinion. I spoke to Craig about this numerous times, and I've heard other people speak about it. Is a battle pack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The
That's
figures
beautiful.
are there. Get
oh
them
my
in a
God.
battle
It's
pack.
beautiful. It's
Do you know
so
what I mean?
beautiful.
This was one of the later ones that I had back in the day. £4.99 from Woolworths.
Oh my God,
Woolworths. So beautiful.
£99 from Woolworths. Come on.
My word.
Oh.
And then if you're talking real pocket money sets, this is going to blow your mind. So one of my favourite ones is the King's Oarsman. Yeah, from Tesco's, $1.99. $1.99.
Oh my goodness.
$1.99. Come on, $1.99.
Yeah, $1.99 Tesco. Let's even the old Tesco logo on it.
And a bill.
Yeah, I was going to say the old Tesco logo, but you think about it. Look, you get too many figures in there as well.
That's what I mean. Too many figures you get with that one. You get alternative builds as well.
Those were the days.
These boxes, the whole builds back then, the nostalgia. Oh man, just bring it back, please.
Yeah.
And this really blew my mind. This is one of my favourites. £1.50.
Oh, look at that cute little box. Oh,
I love it. I love the little boxes, man.
It's adorable.
£1.50.
I mean, to be fair, you get that as a minifigure these days. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because you get them with their accessories and that.
Obviously, inflation, minifigs go
Yeah.
up, bricks go up, price goes up. This is like this would have been 92, 93, this particular set.
So what you're saying, it'll be about 28 quid now.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Still buy it.
Yeah, we'd still buy it.
But what's
Maybe
awesome
50.
about it, what I love, is the fact that you look at the colours. Now, this is back when they had a limited colour palette. But you've still got all that nostalgia and detail in there with just those limited amount of colours.
Yeah.
You think about how phenomenal that would look
100%.
today if that was done with the colour sets we have now.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, again, it leads in quite nicely to young Stuart. Stuart, do you get many new colours that come out each year and you sort of think to yourself, oh, that's a nice flex, Brent. Do you think to yourself, do you know what? We need to use that colour. I've got an idea for that. Is that something that sort of comes on your radar?
Yeah, we get a bit of a heads up because in the brick warehouse where I go to collect the bricks and stuff, part of the section is forthcoming bricks which are not launched yet, but you can see what new colours and what new elements are going to be coming through in the next sort of 6 to 12 months. And so you do get excited about the possibilities when you see this stuff coming through.
Yeah.
But it's also a bit of a nightmare because constantly there's bricks being deleted and bricks being added. So just you're talking about the sorting and stuff earlier. We get these corridors of rows of shelves with all the bricks on them. But then they have to move stuff around to accommodate new things. And just when you've learned where something is, you suddenly, so your step count at the end of the day is pretty phenomenal when you're trying to find these bricks. So.
They got any dark saber pieces in there?
Oh,
I know we got the one new one, but
I tell you what, right? I will say this, right? When I was at Celebration last week, there was two sets they had there that I don't think anyone's even mentioned actually from Star Wars. I did take a little bit of vid of it. One of them's the new Temple set that was there on display, and the second one is the Spider Tank, the kind of mech with the Darksaber, and the Darksaber. I'll give Lego credit for this. They haven't, on the pictures, the photos look like they've gone for the light grey hilt, but they haven't. They've gone for a very dark grey hilt. So it actually looks okay. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect, right? And you're always
I do like the fact that it's a darker color, at least.
So that's good. I'm not saying it's perfect. I think the next iteration will be where they probably get it right. But I think it's a lot better than what it was. So you got to thank Lego for that at least anyway, for improving the design. But yeah, so yeah, the Darksaber's a good improvement. Have you ever looked at like a new element when it's come out, Stuart, and just thought to yourself, do you know what? I could go back to an old thing that I've done like 5 years ago and maybe revamp it or something. Do you ever have to do that?
I don't have to necessarily do that, but because obviously you just moved on to the next design and so on. But you do look at a piece and you go, "Oh, why wasn't that there last year?" But so, I guess it's the same for everybody. But it's but because I have that little bit of the opportunity to see what is coming, so I can sort of like plan around it. So it's but there's lots of new exciting stuff, and the stuff which you can see, it's not going to be released till the 1st of June, but I need to use it now, and I can't. I have to wait. So
so you have to wait as well, eh? God, see, they know what it's like for us. Here's the thing, and Brent will know all about this, right? But there's and in a second, Mark, we'll come back to you about your castle because that looked pretty awesome. Where there was these helmets. The Star Wars helmets. There was one in particular that came with two very special prints on the helmet, which is the TIE Fighter pilot, right? A TIE Fighter pilot is an excellent helmet. It really is. And boy, is that expensive.
Might be the best one.
It probably, you know what? It probably is actually. But what makes it even better, in my opinion, is it comes with those two exclusive printed discs on the head of the Imperial logo. My God, what an awesome set that is! And honestly, it goes for like £250, and it only retired months
easily.
ago. Yeah. It's unbelievable. That is
Target exclusive. I think it was something like that.
Oh, was it? It's Target exclusive in America,
or at least in the States. It was Target or Lego Store exclusive. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And loads of people want to buy that set simply, so they have those printed parts on there. So it's pretty exclusive. Baz is probably thinking, blimey, I might sell my one there.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Definitely. Well, here's the thing, right? I did actually collect. I probably got about 6 of them, and I was totally collecting them, and I was going to start building them quite soon, actually. And a couple of weeks ago, I built the new large diorama of the Indiana Jones set, the Temple of the Golden Idol. Just don't remember that. And I was like, oh my God, I totally love these dioramas. And then, of course, gone Star Wars Celebration, seen these new dioramas coming out. And I'm like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to switch gear. I'm going to start collecting those instead. Because some of those come really, really nice kind of scenes from movies. And then luckily enough, last week, we had, there was a deal on. We have this shop over here in the UK called Argos. And they were selling the trash compactor with 40% off it. So I was like, brilliant, I'm going to buy that. So I was like, I was well impressed with that. So I totally got that. So there's deals to be had out there, folks. And when the new sets do come out, when the new waves come out, and we've got a load of new waves coming out in pretty much exactly 2 weeks, to be honest, with Star Wars stuff, just be mindful of what you want to get. and look out for whatever those gift with purchases are going to be.
Oh,
Because I think there's going to be some good ones coming out. Obviously, can't talk about it because, well, we can theorize about it, but we won't go there tonight. Maybe next week. We all
know.
Yeah, we all know. We
They
all know.
know.
Don't we? We've seen the vids. We've seen the pics.
I can practice my poker face. So.
Exactly. I will say this. I will say this. When I was building this, I jokingly said, bear in mind, this was 2 weeks ago. So what? 1st of April. This is no joke. When I was building it, and I built the ball, and I was doing the mechanism for going up and down, which, by the way, folks, is out of this world. It's so satisfying to do. It's so incredible. And I said, I'm just throwing it out there, folks. But wouldn't it be funny if Lego did a microscale Death Star? And I said, no, they probably won't anyway. It's a silly idea. Anyway, you never know. It might actually happen. So I'm definitely going to be clipping that one. Honestly, I said, it would make a great little Death Star, this. And I said, no, it's a silly idea. Everyone wants a minifigure. But anyway, just saying. But anyway, the irony. So anyway, Mr. BookieBoo, I couldn't help but noticing that you were sort of flashing to the camera a section of a castle or something. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, because so in addition to Star Wars and City, castles like I love castle pirates. Those are the things I had when I was a kid. So this guy right here, this is the original Black Falcon's fortress.
Oh my God, Bazza, check this out.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
That's
complete,
a heater.
Yeah. And this is like one of my pride for castle sets. This is like pretty much it. I mean,
it was released as a legend set, wasn't it? It was that much loved. It come back as a legend set, didn't it?
It was. Yeah. It was so loved that it came back. Yeah, as legends. So this is just, talking about castle. Yeah, I love my castles.
Look at all the figures on it, though. My God.
Yeah, it's got all these are all the original figures. I got this like secondhand, but it's 100% complete. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It looks so good.
It even has the little flag those flags are notorious for breaking off the little C-clips on them. It even has the original flag. So
man,
it's good stuff. Yeah,
that is
Castle. Love Castle. I hope we get a Castle. It's good we're getting a little taste of the Castle sets coming out here and there with with the Lion Knight's Castle and the Blacksmith and stuff. But I'm hoping like you guys for a resurgence of that Castle theme.
Give us a whole wave.
But that is the thing, is it? It's kind of out there, but
it's like a teaser,
It is. Honestly, Stuart, there.
It's an appetizer.
Stuart. Tell him
you know that one you made me take apart in Bricktastic and film, and then your hand was too shaky, you couldn't use any of the content. That was a remodel of that one that Mark just held up.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was where the concept came from. That's why it's got yellow at the front, right underneath the thing. There's a nod.
Yeah, I like that original yellow castle. I quite like the idea of doing. I don't know. I quite like some of the. I know Lego's gone there with a couple of sets. One being the Fiat 500 or Fiat, as Americans like to call them. If I remember rightly, Stuart, you used to have a Fiat, didn't you?
I did. Yes. I had a Beetle when I first joined Lego, a yellow Beetle.
Oh, nice.
Then a Fiat, and now I'm driving a boring Tesla. So
boring Tesla. Oh, I like it. That's it. Good stuff.
I'm saving the planet all by myself. Yes.
It gets cold in Denmark though, doesn't it? It must only do about 50-mile range with a Tesla.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, okay. Your electric over there is probably cheaper than the UK, that's for sure.
Anywhere at the moment is cheaper than the UK.
Exactly. All goes to the fridge. But anyway, let's say hello to a few peeps that are out in the chat, because we got Infamous Conflict out there as well. He's saying that new parts in 2023 Speed Champions are great. We love Speed Champions. That's kind of seems to be the universal range and theme out there.
Modern day pocket money set.
That's a good point, actually. They are.
I've literally just been building with those. I love that piece so much.
Fantastic.
We call them wheel arches. I think what Americans call them. They call them what the boats call them.
Sometimes they call them a wheel well.
A fender.
Or like a wheel well.
That's it, fender.
Or fender,
fender. A wheel well. Can't you got to say that slowly, didn't you?
Yeah,
I know them as wheel well.
I feel really, really well today.
Really well. That's a really well wheel well.
What a wobbly place we are. Topic Books goes on to say that he goes, the 2022 Star Wars dioramas are retiring this year, so make sure you don't miss out on those. Definitely. The Yoda training one is very cool. I got given that by Zavi, funny enough. They just sent it to me. I said, no, don't worry, don't send it to me. They said, no, we're going to send it to you. We're going to send it to you. I was like, all right, fine. And then a week later,
no,
they said,
don't send me free Lego, please.
Then they said to me, they said, you got to build it now. And I said, but I didn't want it. You just wanted to send it to me. I said to him, I said, look, whatever I do, when I get it, I'll build it and I'll give you some shout outs, that sort of thing. You know, all the usual thing you got to do. But it was kind of funny. It was a bit weird situation. Oh, yeah, we really want to send you something. All right, cheers. And then they're like, oh, now you got to market it. And I'm like, I didn't want it though. I even said to him, I said, I'll send it back if you like. Then no, just build it and, give us a shout out then. So I was like, all right, fair enough. But no, go for it, Brent.
Sorry, I was just going to say, on the topic of dioramas, if we could just get a quick question and toss it around the panel, go around the horn here.
Yeah, man.
Dioramas or play sets? Where are we at for that? Because for me, like, if you look at the Death Star Final Duel play set we got like 3 years ago versus the diorama, I like dioramas. I also like play sets. The play set, it was, I think, $10 cheaper. No, I think it was also $100 USD anyways. But and you mentioned the the Dagobah training diorama, that's $80 versus the playset version was $30. You get the same amount of minifigures. For me, I feel like I like dioramas. I love helmet sets. We talked a lot about this last night, but like the dioramas, the helmets, they're all nice, but I feel like we're getting less play sets nowadays. I was just kind of curious what everyone's thought was. Like, I love dioramas, I love displaying sets, but there is a but there. Play sets, I feel like we get a little bit less play sets, at least as of late in the past couple years.
But I think and I'll kick this off, I guess. I think personally, Lego is tapping more into the adult fans of Lego, and that's it. They've kind of, I think they've realized that, and Stuart, do feel free to correct us if we're wrong here, always speaking out slight term, but I just think I like the AT-AT. I love that set. It's very displayable. I mean, I'm still building it. I've got the legs over there sticking out. It looks a bit weird, actually. But anyway, that is a play set. But boy, I'm not going to replay with that. This is going to be a display one. But the dioramas, you're right? It's kind of like a more of a wholesome, perfect scene, and you get those exclusive printed parts on them as well, like the trash compactors. I think the line is, we're going to come out of this a lot slimmer than we were when we went in, or something like that.
One thing's for certain, we're all going to be a lot thinner, I think.
That's it. That's it. That line.
That's a play feature on it, doesn't it? It's a diorama, but it has a play feature.
It does. It crushes.
Yeah.
It does. It obviously comes inwards. I don't know, and obviously the packaging is different as well. Brent, I think there's that. But let's throw it around. Let's ask Bazza what he thinks.
It's a question. Yeah, it's made me think, because I've never thought about it before. It's really made me sit and think about it. I mean, overall, I'd say playset, because there's so much more you can do with it and still display it. So I'd say playset, but dioramas, I'm a dust catcher, like anybody who collects stuff, like I collect stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of torn. I'm torn, definitely. But I would say overall playset for everybody. It makes more sense.
Yeah,
I like both. I like both.
Yeah, I do as well. But the diorama is quite new to me, and I felt when I built the Indiana Jones set, I was just like, there's a lot more detail in this, and that's what made me look at the Star Wars dioramas and think to myself, that's what I want. It's almost like I tell you what I think. In a nutshell, I think there's more depth to a diorama than a play set. I think a diorama is more detailed. Yeah. What do you reckon, MrBookieboo?
Well, for me, play sets. I mean, I love play sets, but just because I mentioned earlier, I love taking them and just, expanding on them and making them almost like UCS-esque in a sense. You can add all that detail to it. But I see where Lego's going with the dioramas because it's a self-contained, if you're not like a diehard mocker, you don't have a lot of pieces and you just want a really nice display piece. Those are fantastic. I mean, the detail, like you said, the depth, the completeness of it. It's a wonderful standalone thing. And I have both, I'm a sucker for those. I've bought the dioramas. I haven't built them yet, but I have them, and I intend to, someday I'll get to those. And I mean, they look amazing, but it's just, I think there's a place for both, but I would like to see more play sets because I'm a sucker for a play set. If it's especially a big play set, that's like an auto buy for me because it's just, that's where my creativity and imagination just it spawns from those play sets, and I just my mind goes wild like, oh, I can expand this, I can do that, and it just makes it so awesome to work with.
Yeah, good shout. What do you think, Stuart? Where do you sort of think about difference between play sets?
I mean, there's a place for both, and everyone's going to have their personal kind of opinion. I mean, I like the diorama kind of scenes because they're such rich environments, and the kind of the detail and stuff that you get in those kind of things. So for me, they're sort of they have a kind of a special appeal, but there's no reason to one is not better than the other. It depends on the theme and the scene that you're depicting. So there's room for both, and I don't think that I would necessarily sort of pick one over the other. To be honest, the pros and cons on both. So, I do like the diorama in terms of the richness of the environment.
Yeah, and I tell you what, right? The diorama for the final duel between Luke and Vader. Oh my God, it looks even better from the back in a lot of ways. What they've used for the parts, right. I can when you see it up close, you can totally see where the money's gone. Totally, it definitely is. There's going to be some awesome parts on that people are going to want. What was you going to say, Mr. BookieBoo?
Oh, I was going to say, and then you have these interesting kind of where it's almost like the cantina, for example. Where it kind of crosses both. Right, you have this
master builders.
It's a diorama, but it's also like a play set because it's eminently playable, and it has a lot more of the traditional Lego techniques where it's the studs and the building and stuff. But then it also, to me, it's equivalent in detail, to those like dioramas that you have. So it kind of spans both, and it's and I know it's like, is it UCS, is it not? There's a lot of debate about that, but to me, it's that. So you can have it all kind of a thing. You can definitely, there's a place for all these different things.
Yeah. We're definitely due for another Master Builders series set. I mean, we really only had that and then the Cloud City in the last handful of years.
Do you know what? I totally wish I bought the Cloud City set because boy, is that worth a lot of money now. But it was just too wide. I couldn't put it anywhere.
I've been trying to do a mock of Cloud City for years now. In fact, on my YouTube channel, I've got one that I did several years back. And anyway, I styled it off of the playset, the Death Star, the large one, and it's just, like you say, it's just so hard to get it right because I was trying to get the shape right and stuff. And then the size, it just kind of ballooned and it was just this massive thing. So I've kind of sidelined that, but it's I would love to see a revisitation of that at some point, and maybe even like more of like those dioramas. Like to me, that'd be a perfect, like you have this was this one right here, right? The dual, right?
Dual on best.
So but imagine with more, of like a backdrop on it and the building to the right, the whole. That's like prime for like a diorama in my opinion, and there's so many iconic scenes in Cloud City where you could do that.
Totally. Best Bin Jewel, I managed to get that, and I was so lucky, and it was actually someone who's Snatch a Good Bricks got it for me, and I built it, and it was just amazing. And you know what, this is the weird thing, and I kind of like this, I really do, and a lot of people out there, this might trigger them, I don't know, but that particular Luke Skywalker was exclusive to that one set. And then about 6 months later, I think I'm right, Barry, I think it was about 6 months later, it then came free with a Lego Star Wars magazine here in the UK. So we picked him up for like £4, and the market all of a sudden went down. It just crashed.
Man, I wish we got those in the US.
That magazine is phenomenal. Even I've bought them for the figures.
Yeah,
they're so cool.
Bo-Katan recently. She only came in one set. She was $25, and we picked her up for like £4.
And then there's a new one.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we had a thought that was going to happen. What do you got there, Mark?
Yeah, what is that?
So this is an example of like what I was trying to do to incorporate that Bespin dual set. So this is the gas processing facility, still working on it, But again, this attaches on the end. You have the end part here where everything attaches
up.
Up.
When he comes out. Yeah, that's where he comes out.
Yeah,
isn't
when
it?
he comes out. So that's what I was trying to like do, like a full on like scene
love
for
that.
it. And it even has the interior with the the carbon freeze chamber.
That's awesome.
Did a little detail on the bottom.
Oh,
this was
yeah.
going to be where Luke falls out of the glass. That type of stuff. So, so there's opportunities to do these kind of things. And I just, again, in the future, I hope that we see more of that. The perfect diorama, right? To do.
Let's get a $200
like
diorama.
right?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Well, I tell you what. Well, I mean, let's face it. Years ago, we would say, "We took that £500 Lego set. Who's going to buy that?" We all do it because we love it. That's the thing. And I tell you what, right, one of my favorite sets that I ever built. Funny enough, folks, if you go back, right, the first Lego set I think it was that I built on my channel was the classic space ones that came out in the movie. With all the different colors. Brilliant. Do you know what the second one was? It was the Tantive. I built that next.
Nice.
And what
That's
a set
good
that is. I love that.
Yeah.
It's got 11 rockets on the back. It's ridiculous. I love it. Just so many. It's just beautiful. And still to this day, it's one of my absolute favorites.
Good figs in that set too.
Yeah, you got there's a
Leia's
exclusive.
stepdad.
Leia's, yeah,
Bail Organa.
Organa. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
it. Yeah. I'll tell you what. But I tell you what I did say to Henrik when I was at the Star Wars celebration. He's signing some sets for me very kindly, and I said to him, "Can you do us a favor, Henrik? What's that? Depends what it is." I said, "Can you?" He didn't say it with a Cockney accent, but as well, folks, he's Danish, and he said to him, "You guys have missed out one massive character in Star Wars that you've never done a minifigure of, and he was absolutely crucial to the rebellion and them destroying the Death Star." And he was like, "Who's that?" And I said, "It's Galen Erso."
Yeah.
I said, "You've never done a minifigure of Galen Erso."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Really?" He said, "Are you sure?" I mean, absolutely. He said, "I tell you, this must be a thing." He said, "Didn't he come with an advent calendar?" I went, "No, he definitely didn't come with an advent calendar." I went, "Good try." And I said he was played by Mads Mikkelsen, and he said, "Yeah, he's Danish as well." I said, "Yeah, well, there you go. See, another reason to do it." So. I don't know. Feed it back, Stuart. Feed it back for us. Feed it back.
I'll nudge it.
I want it. Credit for that. But yeah, I said he was pretty important. He was a pretty important character. He really was. But yeah, so it's just a thing. But what I'm liking as well is I don't know, is some of the different kind of colors that we are getting in Lego these days and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And I'm sort of starting to notice as well, Mark. I don't know what you think about this, MNRK, I should say. But, what sort of colors are you noticing Lego are using more of these days? In terms, because you quite like your friend sets and stuff like that.
Yeah. So friends for me is one of my favorite themes, just because, like Mark said, the diversity behind the themes, the awesome colors that it comes with, the buildings are fantastic. The build techniques are really, really cool. And we're starting to see, so it's quite interesting actually, because when you start to look at some of the Friends sets, using Friends as an example, because I know that one probably better, we're starting to see introductions of more whites and greys and tans, and those are colors that you wouldn't necessarily associate with Friends, but I think a great example of one that can just slot into a city is the facade from the Friends Andre's Theatre that has the front of the build. It looks like the front of a theatre. It's quite a traditional design with teal that you could swap out if teal's not your thing. But the whole build was so classic. But it's so nice to sort of see we're seeing more and more introductions of the cool yellow, and starting to see introductions of some of those colours being outside of the Friends range. I know the set that Mark's got there, yeah, that's a classic example. Whites, tans, phenomenal set. Phenomenal set.
It's a really nice set. Architecturally,
This
it's
is
beautiful.
fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I like the pastel
really,
colours. I really do like pastel colours.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This is again, a lot of, for city building, a lot of, you have the modulars, and they're expensive. They're awesome and amazing in detail. But you get into for me, I got into the space issue. So I started running out of space in my layout. I'm out of room, but I still wanted to have more, and I wanted to have more depth. And so what I started doing is making facades. And so sets like this are perfect for building facades behind it. So it's just, it's just a flat front, or you just add a few studs on the ends of it to make it so it's not flat against the wall, but you can take easily a set like this and convert it into a fantastic facade for minimal cost, and it looks amazing next to the other modulars that you have.
100%. They're all on deep discount all the time, because Lego Friends is still one of those sets that doesn't have enough kind of, there's not enough people that buy them. Obviously there are loads of us that buy them, but obviously you see them deep discounted all the time. So recently we've got in the UK, certainly we've got a department store which sells Lego, and they put one of the big sets on sale recently. So they reduced down the Friends Main Street, they reduced that down by 40%. And for pieces alone, that is just worth every penny. But that itself had the corner modular style build that you'd only need to add a back to, and then you had those little modular apartments that you could just create and add to make your own thing as well. And you can swap the colors out, but the build techniques alone are just phenomenal with those sets. And we're starting to see them come into other themes as well, which is awesome.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the jazz club, right? And I'm not joking, right? The right part of the jazz club is a tailor's, and it's a pizzeria. Those colours are totally out of
100% out of Friends. Like the pizzeria. The Friends did a pizzeria that had cool yellow. We saw the cool yellow in a lot of Emma sets. So there's the fashion shop that was in cool yellow, and it had white accents as well. So yeah, definitely.
Now the interesting thing with the jazz club, anyone who wants to see what the jazz club looks like, voila, as the French say. But the funny thing with that was everyone thought we was going to get a pizza van with it. Of course, Lego had other ideas, didn't they? They came out with a removal van instead, and someone's building that tonight.
I am.
Show us your movers van, as they call it in America. I like to call it.
I'm not putting the sticker on.
Oh, he's not putting the stickers on.
No, not on stream. I'm not doing that. But it is phenomenal. I mean, it is so cool.
Legos. I mean, this is the thing, folks. This is the one thing that separates going to the Lego store, right? The main reason for going to the Lego store, instead of saying, I don't know, going to Argos, John Lewis, or whatever, right? The main reason for going there is for getting these great gift with purchases. And we've got some humdingers out there at the moment, folks, and you get to build cool little things like pianos, sideboards with the drawers open. There's something in that as well. Is there a coin? Yeah, artwork. That's for the jazz club, by the way. It even says it on the box.
And then you've got your little jukebox.
Little jukebox.
And then I have to hold this because it's got pieces in it. Bear with me, because it's got donuts in it. But you've got a little box. Let me show you. That has a little label on it saying to Jazz Club.
To the Jazz Club.
Yeah.
Admiral. Phenomenal. Love it. Now, what I do like on the front, show us the grill on the front of that, Mark. That's all made up using discs.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch, man. I'll tell you.
So cool. I love it. I love this build. I will say I didn't buy it. I bought it on the aftermarket, so I bought it on its own. So I didn't buy Lego purchase.
Yeah, you didn't get it as a gift with purchase.
No, I didn't get it as a gift with purchase. Just because at the time I didn't have the finance to be able to do it. But I was sort of thinking, do I need it? Don't I need it? And then I was thinking of doing what Greg did, BRICKTASTIC did, and built it out of his own pieces. And I was thinking, I
That
could
Greg.
do...
That Greg. I'm only joking, Mark.
Build it out of his own pieces, and I was thinking, of course I could do that. But then when I saw this for the price I saw it for, I was like, do you know what? The red looks amazing.
Yeah, it's a lovely red.
The side builds are just worth it alone. So I just went all in and got it, and I'm so happy I did. It's such a pleasure to build. It's so good.
Yeah, I tell you what, right? I love that van to bits. My favourite van, bar the Lego van that I got when Leicester Square reopened. I was really lucky and glad to have got that. It was brilliant. Now talking of exclusives, we've been talking about exclusive minifigures and things like that. What about exclusive things that you get at the Lego house in Billund, of all places? Now, on the front of Blocks magazine this month, this is pure fluke, this is, folks. We didn't plan this or anything like that. But on the front of Blocks magazine this month, we got this little fellow here, Captain Redbeard, his name is. And a certain Stuart Harris was part of the team that actually constructed it. Oh, look, we've got a flex going on as well. Look, MrBookieboo. How's MrBookieboo got one of them? Very cool. I'm trying to source one at the moment. But do you know what, folks? Yeah. There is a fantastic article in this month's Blocks magazine. Do check it out. It's very much worth a read. Stuart, tell us a little bit about the story behind Captain Redbeard. That's the badger, and how you came to designing it.
So I've got all the exclusives behind me here. So let me grab Captain Redbeard.
Lovely jubbly. I got even more cockney than I normally am. It's ridiculous.
So my job in the Lego house is to I'm basically responsible for the models in the Lego house, and that includes developing the exclusive sets. So we had a number of sets that we had for the first couple of years, like the Tree of Creativity and the dinosaurs and so on. But while we did those as a quick launch while we figured out what kind of strategy we wanted to take with what kind of models we wanted to produce for the Lego house, what kind of exclusive sets we wanted to do. And so we actually were working on kind of a roadmap and a strategy on what kind of models we wanted. And so we started off with the wooden duck. So maybe I'll do one at a time.
I love that set.
It's so cool.
The wooden look, there we go. The wooden duck was the first one of this new series that we called. And basically the idea behind them was to do sets that would link the Lego house to the Lego group and the Lego group's heritage and history. So of course we have the Lego duck displayed in the Lego house and the history collection. So we wanted to do that. And then we did the brick molding machine with the next one, 40502. So this was a copy of the molding machine that we have in the Lego house itself, where we produce, we mold 6 bricks at a time, because we give you your own unique combination. When you visit the Lego house, you get a unique combination of 6 bricks, because 6 bricks of the same color, 6 2x4 bricks of the same color can produce, you can get 915,103,765 different combinations from those 6 bricks.
You've said that a few times, Stuart.
Once or twice, yes. I didn't do the math to calculate it, so that was that. And then the one that we did last year was which was Downey Holm, and Downey Holm was the first Lego master builder. So she was actually the cousin of Godfrey, and so she was the first master builder responsible basically for all the models in Legoland and her team. And so Kel, at the time the 3rd generation owner, wanted to celebrate her contribution to the Lego group. Actually, when we were making the long list of all models we wanted to do as exclusive sets in the Lego house, Downey Holm wasn't on the original list, but when we presented it to Kel and asked him for his feedback and input, he actually requested that we get Downey Holm as one of the sets in there. And then, of course, the one that we launched this year, which was Captain Redbeard, and a minifigure tribute, and that's what it's all about. It's about the fact that the minifigure is celebrating 45 years old this year, and so we wanted to do something which was celebrating the minifigure. And I tried lots and lots of different concept models, because my job is to do the concept model, and then I hand it over to someone else who will mature it. And so I tried lots and lots of different styles and different kind of types. But the period when I started looking at this this brief to do a tribute to a minifigure, the Harry Potter ones had come out. So you had the Harry and Hermione big figs, maxi figs, or what do you want to call them. So I thought, well, this is perfect, because now we have a template for how we should do an enlarged minifigure. So that's kind of all. Somebody's figured out all the maths and the angles and all that kind of stuff, and we just need to sort of redress it to do a different minifigure. And so I looked at different ones, did copies of the play agents and the staff who work in Lego House. I did kids, small scale ones. I did the original stage extra, the minifigure that didn't have the arms and the moving legs. But they weren't really enough of an interesting building experience. So I was talking with our corporate historians. We have a whole team of corporate historians about sort of what figure would make sense to do. And it was their suggestion that we did one of the vintage ones, and that we settled on Captain Redbeard, because actually Captain Redbeard was also a bit of a milestone in terms of the minifigure's evolution. Because it was kind of the first minifigure that actually had a sort of character. Or before Captain Redbeard, they were all sort of 2 dots and a smile for their faces. So Captain Redbeard was the first one that broke that kind of mold. But he had a different sort of face expression. It had the 2-color printing on there. He had the peg leg and the hook hand. So it was a very different kind of minifigure. It was kind of milestone. And I thought also from a building experience point of view, it's going to be very different from the Harry Potter and Hermione. So that was the one we went with. And so I built a sketch model to see that this is going to be the right thing to do. And then I present that to Kel, and he gives the okay, and then we'll go and mature it and launch the product. So that's kind of how he came about. And of course, we managed to squeeze in a few little Easter eggs in there, and I guess one of my favorite ones is on the map itself. Here you can see the map that we did here, and this is actually a map of Denmark we have in there, and you can see the X. That's actually marks the spot of where Lego House is in Billund, and you see the dotted line, and that represents the journey that myself and my co-designer on this took. He comes from Marcus comes from Germany. So you can see the dotted line coming up from Germany, and I came on the ferry from the UK. So I landed on the west coast of the west coast of Denmark. So that was our little Easter egg that we managed to sneak in there. And then Marcus added another little Easter egg inside Captain Redbeard's head. There's a little model of a treasure island, so that's what he's thinking about all the time.
That's so clever.
That was
very cool.
And there's one other little small Easter egg in there, but when you come to the Lego House, you wear a blue wristband to get through the door. So Captain Redbeard has a little blue wristband underneath his hook there.
That's nice. See, if you know, you know. It's one of those things, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
If you know, you know. So what do you? Is this potentially going to be a sort of a new theme potentially from Lego? Do you think, or because they've done it in Harry Potter? I know when those Harry Potter figures came out, everyone was saying, "Oh, I love that in Star Wars," especially the kind of cloak capey thing they had. Everyone was like, "Oh, there's going to be a Darth Vader one, surely." But what kind of made you decide to go with that? Did you sort of think to yourself, well, we've got a couple of figures out there already, and did you think it's quite unique? Do you like doing it so it's something, because you seem to do one every year, maybe every 2 years, and this is quite different to anything that's happened before? Is that why maybe
we do a new Lego House exclusive set every year we have done so far. And it really was because I saw the Harry Potter and Hermione, and it's like, wow, this is kind of very fortuitous that this has come out, and I'm thinking about what kind of minifigure or how to interpret the brief. The brief is very loose; it's just a one-liner. Build something which is a tribute to the minifigure. So that's my brief. So I tried lots of different angles, but I kept coming back to the idea. Okay, I need to do this in large figures because it's something that's already been worked out. We have this approved template, if you like, about the scale and proportions and how it should be built. So it really made sense to do them based on that format.
Wow, it's incredible. It really is. And is it something like you look at it and you sort of think, God, that's pretty cool. You're proud of what you've accomplished there, because I think what the guy that helped you design it was part of the design team. Didn't he sort of help design the original Captain Redbeard as well?
No, Niels Milan Peterson was the original designer of Black Sea's Barracuda and Captain Redbeard. He was the one that had to persuade Gottfried that we should go down this route, because Gottfried was very strict on the minifigure. Only had it doesn't have any expression. It's just the two dots and the smile, and that is a minifigure. So it actually took a long time to persuade Gottfried that actually we should go down this route. And Niels Milan Peterson, he still works for the Lego Group. He's still designing elements and stuff. So we invited him along to the launch, and he was sort of super happy with how we've interpreted it, which was quite lucky. And so it was really nice to have him there, the originator of the original one. And you kind of knew that it was going to be, it seems to have been a pretty popular set, a pretty popular release. And you kind of had an inkling that it could be quite popular, because although sitting around and, we design these things, a long time in advance, 18 months or so in advance. So it's sitting around for a long time. But the number of designers who come up and say, "Oh, I need to buy that," when it comes out, you think, okay, well, if the designers are quite interested in it, then maybe we've done something right. So it seems to have gone pretty well.
And why did you do that? Why? I mean, Pirates is one of the kind of main minifigures, of Lego. Could there potentially be a spaceman in the future, or maybe
I've been asked a lot why we didn't do the classic space one, but for me, what I liked about doing the pirate one was the meaningful thing about it being that it was a milestone in terms of the development of the evolution of the character-based minifigures, and also from a building experience, it was very different. With the pirate hat and the hook hand and the peg leg and so on. So it was for me it was a very different building experience, as well as being historically important. But who knows? And even if I knew, it would be time for Poker Face to
very true, very true. All I can say is there is definitely a market out there for them. Just out of curiosity, then, because we've got big figs. What are these figures actually called? They're called massive figs, or what would you call them?
Yeah, I don't know that we have because it's only just kind of we've only had the Harry Potter and but I've been referring it to a sort of a maxi fig, but I don't know what the official title is. To be honest.
Maxi fig. I think that's quite
maxi fig works.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Baz? Maxi fig? Go with maxi fig on that?
Yeah, I would say maxi fig. That's pretty much
it's the opposite of a minifig.
Yeah, you might have seen some floating around. So yeah, the maxi fig is what they're mainly called, I believe. What people have been calling them.
Cabbage is called it a giga figure.
That's the next one.
It sounds good. That sounds cool.
That's human size.
Yeah. Imagine that. Well, yeah, Stuart's probably built millions of those with millions of bricks. And just out of curiosity as well, while we're talking about Lego House and stuff like that, a little diggy bird tells me there's a program coming on BBC Two this weekend. Tell us a little bit about that, Stuart.
It is, yes. So we were approached, Lego House was approached by the BBC or by the production company that was doing this program for the BBC. That they wanted to film a segment in the Lego House where the sort of star of the show was going to they try lots of different jobs around the world, and they wanted them to try being a master builder. So they said, were we interested in hosting them for a day where they could come and try being a master builder? So this comedian, she's called Sarah Pascoe, and she stars in a series called Last Woman on Earth. And so she came a few months ago to film a segment where she tried doing doing a job and trying out her master builder skills in Lego House, and so we've been waiting for it to come out. We were told it might have been Christmas, and then it didn't happen. I thought, well, maybe they didn't get any good material, but then and now they've decided actually to release it, and she's going to be trying lots of different jobs. Basically, each series or each episode of the series, she goes to a different country and tries different jobs in that country. So last Sunday was Greece, and so this Sunday will be Denmark, and part of that will be her visit to Lego House and trying her hand at being a master builder. So yeah, right. I won't see it because I'm not there, and but that's fine. I never like watching myself, so it's I'll be fine with that.
Oh, that's funny. But did she sort of say, "God, this is really hard work," or did she just say, "I can't believe you get paid for doing this"? What was her kind of impression back in the day when she was there?
I'm not sure that this will be a career option for her, shall we say. And,
I love that answer.
Good answer, Stuart. So media trade. You can tell. You can totally tell.
So, but I guess I mean, I haven't seen the final edit, so I have no idea what kind of angle they took on it. So you'll, I guess those that can watch it, I think it's 9:00 on BBC Two on Sunday, and Sarah Pascoe, Last Woman on Earth. And let me know how it is, because I won't see it.
Yeah. We could say if we think Stuart earns, it graphs hard for his money or Lego, as the term may be. I'd say pay that getting paid in Lego. I'll take some of that. But yeah, no, very cool. Looking forward to that, Stuart, and I'm honestly totally looking forward to one day getting hold of one of those Captain Redbeards. I'll probably even have a couple. And if now I know, because I'm thinking of going over to Billund at some point soon. Scareback being one of them. But if I can't make it to Scareback, I might just come over for the day and just go in the shop. And am I right in saying that you can actually just go into the Lego store over there, presuming it's opening, of course, or open, and actually buy one of those from the shop?
So. Yeah. So to go into the store, you don't need a ticket to go into the experience. You can just any public can come into the store, and then we have currently we have the Duck, Downey Holm, and Captain Redbeard for sale in the store. But of course, if you're only coming for a specific item, probably worth checking the store, is telling them you're coming, so you don't fly there and find out they're sold out today, and those are the 3 exclusive sets they have there, and then of course they still have the architecture set available there. And,
I love that.
Rings and stuff like that. So,
and I tell you what, right, one of the cool things. This is the nearest I've got to it, because the cool thing is, folks, it's like. It's I think it's an hour, isn't it? The flight, Stuart, is an hour if you
from Stansted, it's an hour and 10 minutes. Yes, the flight. I'm saying, if you have actually flown over there, then I really would encourage you. And as Simon's written in the chat there, I really encourage you to actually go and try the experiences in Lego House, especially if you've made that journey. Then you really should. You should really try it out. So,
yeah. I'm going to pick Simon's brains, because I know he actually frequents Denmark. So I definitely want to find out, get some tips off him as well. Simon, by the way, folks, is also a member of my channel. So Simon,
I think we might be going an expedition. I think there's quite a few of us that might be going.
I think I will, yeah. And I know the London A-Files are always going over there as well. Obviously, I'm a member of them too. So definitely want to be doing that. And Brent, totally right, mate. Hit that like button. So what a cool thing to do. And I got to be honest, I don't say this about many sets or anything like that, but I would definitely go to Denmark just to get that set, and definitely experience the house. And just out of curiosity as well, Stuart, while you're here, because they'll get you on often. What sort of experiences can you have when you go to Billund? What could I book up? To say, I'm thinking like, it's 6 months or whatever, 3 months. I want to go to Billund. I want to do a house experience. What sort of experiences are actually there on offer?
What, in the house itself or in Billund?
Just in the house itself. What sort of things can we do?
We have a huge range of different experiences, and we basically view the house as never being finished. So I'm part of the design team that's always looking for new experiences we can put into the house, and since we opened, we changed 2 of them and we've updated them. So there's everything. And then it has this also digital layer to it. So when you have your wristband on, that unlocks the digital content in the house. So basically, everything you do in the house, you can capture and record and reflect and share it when you get home. And basically, the house is filled with around 25 million bricks. So, you've got everything you need there. And I mean, there's free build areas, there's structured building, there's a stop motion video, there's coding with robots, there's race ramps, there's
do they got a pick a brick wall on
digital? Sorry,
yeah, good shout. Did they? Brent said, did they have a pick a brick wall?
There's obviously in the Lego House brand retail store. There's a pick a brick area in there as well. But there's all sorts of different experiences and some amazing digital experiences.
Oh, very cool. I will say this, box. That is the one of these new boxes.
Oh, the new pick-a-bricks. Yeah, the box.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's about 3 places in the whole of the world at the moment that they are testing these out on. One of them happens to be just down the road from me. It's pure luck, but there we go. I couldn't believe it when someone said to me, "Oh yeah, they're doing it over in Blue Water." And I got to be honest, these are great. Love these to bits, folks. This is the future, and I totally buy into this, especially when it comes to putting in bigger plates, Brent, like 8x8s. They just work perfectly well.
So looking forward to them.
They're totally awesome. Honestly, they are. Not only are they good for the world that we live in, you get more Lego in them, as far as I'm concerned. So everyone's a winner, baby. Ain't that the truth? I'm curious. I think there was a song back in the day, Mark.
I think you quoted it just fine, mate.
I probably danced to it once or twice at the discotheque, which I used to call it back then. Anyway, talking of cool things like discotheques, Brent, I'm curious. I'm very curious. I'm curious, guys. That's why I do streams like this. I want to know, right? Because you and MrBookieboo have got something in common. As well as being young, attractive men, you both got kids, and I'm dead curious to know how that impacts your Lego collection and what you kind of choose to buy. So Brent, I saw you. I looked at Brent's bricks. I was looking at your videos. You need to do more videos, by the way.
I know.
You need to do more videos. I know the ACOB thing is a phenomenon, but I like you. I like you as well. I like Sean. I like them all.
Thank you.
But I'm curious. There was one you did on there where you was doing a Lego haul, and you had your daughter on there as well.
Yeah.
And oh my God, she is so full of personality. She really is.
Oh yeah.
And I thought I want to know how having her kind of changed your kind of Lego
100%.
life.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So like I said a little bit earlier, when me and her mom had no excuses, Shy. I know Shy's the biggest. Him and Sean both are like, no excuses, man. You need to make videos. I know. Being a dad's busy. Well, I feel like I'm always doing something new in the house. Being a homeowner and a dad, it's busy stuff. But
welcome
like
to the
Shy
world.
said, no excuses. But no. So when I started dating my stepdaughter's mom about 5 years ago, like I said, she was 2.5. So she had never picked up a brick before, and I thought she's a bit too old for Duplo. I think she's ready for the real thing. So it just started out with one of the classic, the classic sets with just pieces. Started out with those, and as she started to really take to it really, really well. She loves Friends, Ninjago. Disney's a big one, really big one. So there are sets like the Disney Castle that might be displayed in her room, but anytime she has a new friend over that's never been over before, I'm always like, listen, Lana, you got to make sure they don't grab that Tinkerbell, because that fig it's valuable. But I nicely tell all the new friends that have never been to our house before, I'm like, hey, Lana has her own Lego room. There's plenty of loose bricks. You guys can build whatever you want. The Disney Castle, just in a just
nutshell,
don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Don't tinker with the Tinkerbell.
Please don't. Exactly.
Look, that is all.
Yeah. So there's and like okay, so the biggest thing now I've had this issue recently with, and kids do it, but Lana has lost the pants, or as I should say here, trousers, right? The pants for both the Mario and the Luigi. We looked everywhere, so I'm hoping I can get those parts replaced. But she just has a big thing with taking apart minifigures and switching them around. Sure, she's having a good time, but there's a special shelf for all the CMFs, because I always have to explain to her now, hey, these are collectible minifigures, all right? Yeah. Don't go taking these apart, because you'll regret it when you're older, where you're like, oh man, where's my, Disney series 2 Elsa and Anna? I can't find them. And it's like, well, and it's fine, because you don't want to be. It's like from the first Lego movie when Will Ferrell is Mr. Business or whatever his name is, and he's like. Yeah. Crazy strict on his kid and glues his sets together and doesn't want his kid to have any fun. There's a balance, I feel like, because I know that when I was young, like if somebody was there to tell me, hey, this is the first wave of Harry Potter sets, these are not going to be easy to get when you're older, you're going to want to keep them. But I didn't have a mentor there. My parents just looked at it as toys. They didn't really know.
Mine still do. That's the ridiculous thing.
So I think there's a great balance between, she has plenty of sets that I don't really care if she takes them apart, builds something else. But, there's a few things like CMFs and the Disney Castle and a few other things that, we keep on display. But in terms of what I buy, like, we talked about Friends a little bit earlier. Like Friends sets are great. I have a fun time building those with her. And then Ninjago too. Like, so I don't really, Sean and Max really I think they just like to give me a hard time and kind of mess with me, but they're always like, oh yeah, Brent's a huge Ninjago fan, which I like Ninjago. Ninjago's awesome. But for me, like, especially if I see a Ninjago set on sale, I'm like, this looks fun. I like it. Yeah. And my daughter's going to like it too. So especially with Ninjago, I like Disney, but it's not like a mainstay theme for myself. But with Disney stuff and Ninjago, it's really awesome for her and I to build those sets together and have a fun time. And when I was I built the whole Disney castle on a stream, and she was there with me having fun. She sometimes on live streams like that doesn't really build anything. She's just over there like playing with the minifigures, and she's like building something out of the pieces. And I'm like, hey, I need that piece. And she's like, but this is the roof to my house. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but it goes right here. I need to build it to get to the next step. So, but no, and she's 7 now, so she's getting older, I'm sure. So I have this Lego room. This is one of the rooms in my basement. On the other side of the wall behind the camera, she has her Lego space. So it helps free up her room so things don't get lost and all that. Although I'm still looking for those Mario and Luigi. She lost the hat and the pants, both of those. So I don't know if those can be replaced on bricks and pieces, but I need to call them and find out.
Definitely, mate. There'll be some Bricklinker out there whose kids have done exactly the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a balance. It's a balance.
You'll find a pre-owned Mario that's broken, and you can just take pieces.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a balance with young kids and Lego for sure.
Yeah. So what about you, Mr. BookieBoo? Did your kids influence your kind of Lego purchasing over time?
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's kind of funny because I have 3 boys, and so they range from 17, 13 to 10, almost 11 now. And so they kind of come and go. They go in and out of the whole Lego. They're into it, they're not into it, and then it varies. And it's funny because like my oldest loves minifigures. Even he's 17, and I'm probably going to embarrass him, but he still loves like taking, and he's always stealing my minifigures. So I've gotten like, I've gotten these like wonderful cases. Like I can show you, like for like the ones that like these are like don't touch, So I've got, my clone troopers, like the exclusives and stuff. So I get these like storage cases to
don't let the dog near it.
And that's and that's like they say, no, don't touch those. But he's always like, he likes to mix and match them and create new minifigures. He loves that. My middle one does, and actually I have this on my build table because it's awesome. This is just like his personality in a nutshell. He made this a couple years ago, but he loves to build just with the raw brick, right? And he just creates these like little sculptures and stuff, and it's amazing. And then my little guy, he's the one that floors me because he loves Stranger Things. He loves it, just loves that show. Yeah. So I had to get him the house with the upside down and all that. He built that set all by himself, and I was so impressed at him doing that. And it was just incredible. But as far as it goes, like in my room, and so how, like in my Lego room, so like the kids are allowed in here. They play in here. They can even play in the city. They just know, like, don't take the modulars apart. You know, like the UCS sets, if you really want to play with them, okay, like I'll get them out and they'll swoosh around with Slave One, or they'll play with the Sandcrawler, you know, things like that. But they know not to tear it apart. So they're really good. But the really cool thing that I have now is, so my kids are older, you know, and they bring their friends over. And it's the friends that come, and they're just like, they come in the room, their jaws drop. They're just like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. Can I take pictures to show my parents or my friends? And I'm like, yeah, sure, you know, go ahead. And so it's awesome, and it's just so much fun, and it's so like kind of cool to share. You know, again, it's just sharing the hobby with people, and it's just sharing those experiences and building, you know, inspiring. Hopefully, you know, maybe some of those kids will go and like go, Mom, Dad, I want to get a Lego set because I saw this, you know, this guy has this really cool room, my friend's dad, and blah blah, you know. So it's been a great, you know, it's a fun experience to do, and we build together, you know, with my kids. I'll build with them. I'll spend time, you know, with certain sets, but it's interesting though, because it comes and goes. Like they're into Lego one week, and then next week they're into video games, or they're into sport. You know, they're all over the place with their interests, and so it's not, you know, I'm just like all Lego all the time, and sometimes they're like, Dad, enough with the Lego, you know.
So while we're showing things that our kids built, and I'll remember.
I want to see. I also want to see, Brent, if Baz has got anything he's ever built, any mocked to hand, because he's built some humdiggers in the time, haven't you, Baz?
Yeah, they've been broken down now.
Dude, they're classic. They're classic.
Famous Lady of Lego. He's been broken down.
We're past 10 o'clock. We can show those sort of things now.
Definitely NPL use.
No one can use a heart like I can use a heart.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Brent. I couldn't help. I had to
No, you're
squeeze that
fine.
one in there.
So I saw this, and it was before Lana really showed it off to me, and she's got some Minecraft stuff, and I just thought this was a Minecraft set, but she built this herself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at that.
So
Look at that. Yeah.
I'll show her specifically this stream, or this part of the stream. Lana, good job. I'm showing off your work. But
amazing.
Yeah. She's even got a window in the back, actually.
Nicely well done. Look at that.
Yeah, she's even got a window. It's a bit incomplete in the roof, but she's got a minifig there. She's got some plants growing, you know. I believe
they're never incomplete, are they? They're just it's like a mock, really. In some respects, they're never finished.
Got some plants.
It's like art.
And you can create that in the game, and I think that's what's phenomenal about Minecraft is the fact that you could take that exact mock and make that.
Oh yeah.
You're obviously influencing her, my friend. So that's cool.
Minecraft is it really is a good Lego theme, just because it fits so well with what it represents. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I completely agree with Fat Blondie's sentiments. Great job, Lana.
Hey, she'll think that's awesome.
Indeed,
good job, Buggy Bear.
And don't forget, Lana, give us a like and subscribe while you're watching us back as well.
Yeah, she's got her own YouTube account, or she gets on her mom's account. Yeah, Lana, hit the like button.
We could do low shots like and cheap shots like ACOB do. Do you know what? And interestingly, right? Tell us a little bit about ACOB for anyone who's watching this.
Yeah,
I can't believe
for sure.
anyone does know. But tell us a little bit. Okay, ACOB is a couple of brickheads. But every now and again, there's more than two of you on. So tell us about the dynamics, the team dynamics.
So it started out with just me and Sean. And so I couldn't really think of. I'm terrible at making up names. I mean, look at my name's Brents Bricks. Oh, so original. Like it's not very cool, right? But so he came up with the name A Couple of Brickheads, and it was just a couple of us, it's me and him. So first I was like, oh yeah, that works out. And then 20 episodes in, well, I guess before I get, so I was streaming by myself on my channel, and Sean actually just hit me up out of the blue and was like, hey man, like I've been really enjoying your streams. Like, how'd you feel about doing a Lego podcast? And I pretty much immediately was like, yeah. And so we did like a test run. He showed me, he used to do like a pop culture podcast, which is why he already had like the nice mic and equipment and stuff. And I liked that. I liked what I saw. And then we did just like one test run, and it went great. And we, went right to doing it every Thursday night. And 20 episodes in, we brought in Max. So that's when A Couple of Brickheads turned into 3. And that's when everyone was like, is it a few brickheads now? Is it really still a couple if it's like more than 2 of you? So Max came into play about the 20th episode. And then later on, I think it was about our 1-year anniversary. Nicole kind of became like she's not in like every single episode, but she's like a constant guest, basically. Like maybe she's in like 2 episodes every month or so like that. But she's great. She's awesome. Great chemistry with us. Shout out to Nicole. She's awesome.
She's a regular on here. She must come on here once every couple of months.
Absolutely.
She's awesome. Though I have to say, I think the last time she was on, I think she was just sick and tired of the Eiffel Tower. I think
she finally got it done. She finally got it done. So no, it's been awesome. We've had a lot of great guests. I mean, we even very early on there was a few other, Lego YouTubers or whatever that came on when we were just nobodies. So, it was really cool. I guess, a lot of people kind of took a chance on us because it's hard to get people to come on your stream or your podcast when you're just brand new and you have like 50 subs and you're pretty much a nobody. So, as the ball got rolling and we started getting more guests and a lot of guests came back, and now we, finally are monetized and, past the,
you passed 1,000. That's it.
Yeah.
You've made it there. Welcome to the big league.
Past 1,000. We can get super chats and got all the bells and whistles and everything. So, but it's been awesome. And I mean, it's really another thing. And this is the last thing I'll say is I really, really am thankful for just being a part of that podcast because having a baby, like my son was born, my wife and I got married, and we bought a house all within a handful of months. So much stuff was going on, which is, a big reason why like I slowed down with making videos on my channel. But instead of people thinking like I went into another dark age or I just quit the game altogether, I at least show my face once a week on a podcast and people still at least know that I'm around and I'm in the community. So I really am thankful for the fact that I'm a part of that and that it keeps me in the community. And I really can't be, I can't thank Sean and Max and Nicole and just, and of course, our audience that shows up every week. Like I can't thank everyone enough for really keeping me in the loop, keeping me in the community. So
no,
every week, Thursday, it's a great time. Always look forward to it.
It is, honestly, and you guys do it so late at night. I mean, you're doing it at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and
we moved it up. We moved it up recently, so we used to do it at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we moved it, or not up, but we moved it back 2 hours. So we do it at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So it'd be 6 o'clock for California, 9 o'clock for the East Coast.
Which is 9, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, so 2 o'clock in the morning here, London.
Still in the middle of the night for you, but
but quite often you guys are still like I get up,
wake up
in
the morning and
and I'll be like, oh, the boys are still going.
We've had some late ones, especially like last night we did almost 4 hours.
4 hours, it was practically 4 hours. Your one.
Well, the thing is we were talking about the Force Awakens wave, and we had Rich Boy J on, who was a big fan of episode 8, and anytime you're talking about like the original movies or the prequels or the sequels, I mean, the majority of us are Star Wars fans. You know how long a conversation can get or debate when it comes to like which movies are better than whatever, what they should have done with the Disney trilogy and what they could have done or what they did do. And so
I talk for hours with Craig and fooling with Bricks about this, and those guys have different perspectives because we've all got our perspective on how these things are and what they should be. And no spoilers for this week's Mandalorian, folks, but really you should have watched it by now. But all I would say is one of my favorite scenes to come out of what was episode 8 is the Praetorian Guards. It's like I've always said that scene is one of my favorite scenes ever in Star Wars. And oh my God, when I saw Mando this week, I was like, boom! Like this.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, go on. That was it.
I was just gonna say one more really cool thing about The Last Jedi, and I saw this in like an Instagram reel or something, but the scene where the scene where R2-D2 is having a chat with Luke, and Luke is like, nothing you can say or do can change my mind, and then R2 turns his head and flashes the hologram from A New Hope.
I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I mean, it gives you chills, and then Luke's reaction where he's like, "That's a cheap move."
Yeah.
I mean, that is fantastic. I mean, there really is like now Episode 8 might be really low on my list of Star Wars movies if I'm ranking them, but there really is some fantastic
great
stuff
parts.
in there.
Yeah,
there really is. There really, especially like when Yoda comes back and burns the sacred texts.
And then the way Luke says, "Master Yoda," he's like, "Oh, that's Luke. He's back. He's back."
It's
with
right
us.
back in Dagobah. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Like,
That's I mean, for me, like an Empire, when the Yoda training Luke in Dagobah, that is as magical as Star Wars and the Force gets, or at least for me. Like I absolutely love that.
Dude,
Frank Oz just incredible job at bringing Yoda to life. I mean,
how he
amazing.
did. Yeah,
amazing.
And I tell you what, right, Baz, one of my favorite characters from The Mandalorian this year has been those funny little engineers.
Babu Frick. It's not exactly him, but his species.
That is his species, isn't it, Baz? That is his species, I think.
Yeah, Antellans, yeah.
But it was funny this week. There's one in it, folks, and he calls the baby Crazy Baby or something like that, doesn't he?
No squeezy, bad baby.
I love it. And I do you know what? Again, I keep saying no spoilers. I keep saying spoilers. If I ever say, folks, no spoilers, just I don't know, go watch something else for a second.
Turn your volume down for a second.
If you haven't seen it by now, surely.
All I would say is I'm actually quite. We'll see some pictures in a minute. I've got a guy, Steve Guinness. Stuart's got a bit of beef with him because he wound him up this year. Which we'll cover actually. We'll cover when we come to his pictures. He sent me some pictures because literally hours after The Mandalorian finished, he did an absolute working, let's call it a mech, of a certain IG-12, and Grogu's in it. And it also works. It's I forget what they call it when they got a Lego mechanism that he winds up and the little legs sort of move around and that. And this looks great. And of course he is the designer that brought us the Lego ideas set of the little typewriter, which is a pretty cool set. It really is. Talking of which, that's probably quite a good time to actually change gear and look at some photos, shall we? Just look at some photos that some peeps have sent in.
Read my mind.
Here we go. All right, so let's bring it up then. Let's bring it up. And let's. I always like people being down here. So let's bring everyone down here. There we go. So we can. If I can just pop to it on here. Honestly, it's like being in some strange time zone because I'm looking at this and I'm trying to control everything on this screen. Yeah, so over this screen I've got to do it. So this is a picture sent in from Trevor's videos. He's done the which I think is actually quite good. Microfighter, the Boba Fett Slave One microfighter. He's gone for the classic. I don't know. That's kind of Empire Strikes Back clouds in the background there, which I quite like. When Boba Fett was taking away Han Solo in carbonite. Very cool picture there, Trevor. Nicely done. Beautifully lit as well. There we go. It's Bricklink Steve Guinness. That's our man. And let's go to the next one. There we go. So this is Minifig Who. And I said to Minifig Who, I said, is this a custom printed part? And he says, no. What he does is he gets, I think it's like a 4x2 tile. And he gets a picture and he just makes the picture smaller and then just sticks it on it. So it's kind of like homemade, custom printed.
Yeah, it's quite easy to do.
Yeah. Oh, you're so crafty, Bazza, in more ways than one. And Bazza is actually, you are quite crafty. I've just got nice lips. What's that about? Is that an old minifigure, Baz, or is that something Gaz has done to it?
It certainly is. That's used in the Forestman set, the only female Forestman back in the day. But I think that one's the pirate version.
Yeah. Looks like it. Oh, yeah, it is, of course. Yeah. It's female, aren't we? Very cool. And then you've got this here. Now, what I will say is there's old Redbeard. It looks quite happy with himself, actually. You've got the parrot there, the classic parrot.
That parrot's so cool.
And do you know what? Is it by chance, Stuart, that Lego have released a parrot for, I think it's Creator 3-in-1 set, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it was just by chance. We didn't coordinate that at all. So it was, when we asked a lot of times why we didn't put a parrot with it, because it would, when you actually look at the scale of that parrot, it would have dominated quite a lot, which is also why the map is only the equivalent of 1x1 tile and not a 2x2 tile. We really wanted to focus on the minifigure itself. So, but I was hoping that some fans would build some parrots, and I have seen quite a few parrots actually pop up, which has been cool.
Oh, indeed. In fact, again, another shout out to Blocks, really. But in this month's one, folks, you will see that they actually show you how to build said pirate. And you know what? It looks pretty good as well. So, next picture. Thanks for that. That's from the Minifig Who. This is another one from Minifig Who. Now, Minifig Who, as the name sort of implies, is very much into his Doctor Who stuff. And there we go. I think he's built it this week, actually. Are we right, Gaz? You built it this week. And of course, got this amazing set based on the 928 set. Have you built this one yourself yet, Baz?
What's that? The Galaxy Explorer? Yeah, I built it. I loved it. Really enjoyed it. Really nice build.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, mate, because it's one of my favourite sets, that's for sure. Next up. All right, this is a bit of a strange picture, not exactly Lego inspired. This is the Brick Bods. This is Carrie and Ian on a beach in Spain, which is very good. I think Ian's forgot where he's actually meant to be looking, but then maybe he's had one or too many paellas. But anyway, nice to see him having a good time. I think they're actually flying back tonight, if I remember rightly. Gaz, are they flying back tonight? And they will be streaming, as always, on Sunday at 8:30 UK time. This is they obviously went to they're in Barcelona, and Barcelona has one of the largest Lego stores, as far as I remember. In fact, I think it was the flagship for a while until New York came up, and then of course London took that one again. But anyway, that was their kids building some stuff. Nice one, Brick Bods. Looking very nice. Oh, I love the egg piece there.
And that printed red piece as well. That's so cool.
Over there. I mean, always like the Chinese pieces, don't
they're
you?
So awesome. Yeah, they're really awesome.
They're pretty good. I'll give you that. They're pretty good. Oh, here we go. So here he is. This is Steve Guinness, aka the Brick Consultant on Instagram, folks. Look at this. I mean,
that is phenomenal.
That's
brilliant. It's a bit of a spoiler, folks, but what can I say?
That's so cool.
We're on the pulse here. But yeah, there we go. So you wind this up, and he kind of just walks around. He genuinely walks. I mean, it's pretty good, actually. Good idea for a Lego set, I think.
Yeah.
You never know. We might even get a mech one day. That'd be good, wouldn't it? But yeah, I like that as well. What's that? What's that creature again? Is it the Mythos something or Baz? The Mythosaurus.
Mythosaur.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mythosaur. Oh, it's not a Saurus. It's a Mythosaur.
No,
Okay.
Mythosaur, yeah.
Oh, okay. I could call it a Mythosaurus. There we go. Oh, look, he doesn't miss a trick, does he? Look, he's a Brick Consultant. Let's have another one. I think he sent me another one. Here we go. So you want to find him out on Instagram, folks. There he is there. And I think it's just really good, isn't it? I mean, blimey, he pulled that out of the bag.
Yeah.
Dare I say, it's got a hint of what was that stuff that you used to collect, Brent, back in the day? Bionicle. It's got a bit of Bionicle about it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Grogu looks happy, doesn't he? Liking that. And there we go. I think that's the final one. He's got a little gun there, which is quite cool. I love the fact you'll see the scene, folks. But yes, no. It's phenomenal. It really is good fun. When you know, you know. So anyway, there's a couple of pictures from me. This is just me at the, of course, the Star Wars celebration. It's Henrik over there. Henrik's the one on the right, in case you wondered. And the actual the store was pretty much Star Wars orientated. And I'll tell you what, it was really good as well. So that's Henrik. He's a lead designer. Just out of curiosity, Stuart, do you guys hang out together ever? Do you ever like sort of designers meet up and stuff like that and just sort of bounce ideas off each other?
Well, I mean, the thing is that it is a very social kind of building area as well, because we have the communal building areas in the warehouse area where all the bricks are stored. So, people are sort of all sitting around the same table and sort of building as well as, when you're walking through the building, you're seeing what people are doing on the table. So people always go up to each other and ask what they're doing or give input or feedback and so on. So it is a very social experience.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool indeed. I get to know as well. It's quite interesting. It's kind of just it gives a new meaning to the term open office, open planned office. I like that. Okay, next picture. So this is obviously me. I feature in these quite a lot, folks. And this is this BRICKTASTIC, who's out there tonight as well. There she is there. She goes, the queue was a bit long. We should have got there early, shouldn't you? I think I got there about half hour before her, but she was like literally about 25,000 people behind me. There's Liam as well from TikTok. And I've forgotten this young man's name. Nathan, I think his name. Yeah, Bobber Nathan, his name is. Young chap. Met him in the queue, like you do. But anyway, great to see him there. And Liam was there for about 5 days. He was totally loving it. He just thought London, the beer was very expensive in London, just saying. Again, there's BRICKTASTIC, me. We've got lovely Lauren over there on the right-hand side, aka the brightest witch bricks. Then we've got Tech as well, looking very happy with himself, might I say, and Holly on film as well. We'd all just eaten then as well. I tell you, we were starving. We were. I had a wonderful jerk chicken. And enough said about that. So anyway, so here's another Lego designer. This is Jamie. Honestly, folks, he's the one I said looks like a rock star. Because let's face it, he looks like a rock star. Really nice guy. He's the guy that's designed the Endor speeder chase, which is good fun.
He also worked on the wooden duck with me on the Lego house one.
Did he? Oh,
yes.
Very cool.
That was his first set.
Was he really? Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
Now the story I've got around that is the day they opened or reopened Leicester Square, for some random reason you could buy them there. I think they had a limit of 500, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, we sent a few over.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it was quite a few of them sold, just like that. No, it was cool. I think it was one per person as well. And well, put it this way, folks, they went after a few hours. They really did. But yeah, Jamie's really top guy. I had a lovely little chat with him as well. And Stuart, you'd have to tell you that he was on tonight. So it was very cool. Next up, so this is Jackson. And like I said, folks, earlier on, his first ever set was a Star Wars set. And it's the diorama for the final duel that comes out on May the 1st, at least the VIP members anyway. And he was really cool. Very chatty guy. Yeah, that all worked. It was just such a good thing to go to. Highlight of my year, really is. Next up, so that was me. That's when I got there, super early. I mean, basically, I just went straight there. Now, if you look carefully here, that there is the new temple set. It's all right. I've got a bit of video coverage of it. I need to sort of chuck it up and make some. I'll just make a quick little video out of it or something like that. Won't YouTube it or anything like that. Anyway, away from Star Wars, but still staying intergalactic, we've got Ray and Ella here. This is part of their mock for their space museum.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's good use for a part for the tail end. I like that. Very cool. Looking good as ever, Ray and Ella. And this is part and parcel of their space museum, which looks really good. I think he's doing some sort. He's doing something that is modularized, because he keeps doing stuff that when you turn that, the parents go from sort of left to right. So yeah, let me know a little bit more, Ray. I need you to tell me a little bit more about this set that you're doing. Anyway, great idea. Now this is a great idea. This is from a chap called Neurobricks. He's from Australia, so he's not going to be tuned in right now, folks, because it's early hours of the morning in Australia at the moment, especially since the clock's changed. But yeah, this was something he's mocked up in studio, I believe. It looks very good, very nice. Good use of colours, love all that. And I've got to be honest, even I'd actually build that. So Neuro, if you're watching this back and you're doing instructions, let me know. I think that looks great. Next up, this is Matt the Elder sending me a picture. He's in Billund at the moment. At least I think he's still there anyway. And he said to me, I've got a picture of you of London Bridge. Well, what can I say, folks? If you could Google London Bridge and it will come up Tower Bridge. There's a massive difference. One basically separates and the other one doesn't. But yeah, so that is a big. Is that something that you've done, Stuart? Is it? Would this be something that you would construct potentially at one time or another?
Well, when I joined as a model builder for Legoland Windsor, within about 3 months they promoted me out of trouble, so I didn't end up building an awful lot. But I built a tin mine in Cornwall, and I built some big baby robins that went up in the helicopter ride that we had at the time.
Oh, very nice. I like that. But yeah, no, very cool. It actually looks brilliant. That does. I've actually got Tower Bridge still to build. And I think it would look good. I mean, let's face it, I'm from London. It's one of those sets that behind me would look really good. But I am looking forward to that Lego Ideas set that will be coming out in the future, which is the London telephone box. Can't wait for that. That's going to be a humdinger. That's going to straight the Irish. This is from KO. We always talk about these massive structures, and of course, Stuart's he doesn't even look at anything unless it's got a million bricks. But what about the little micro builds here? We got the Ghost that KO built, and we've also got the Phantom. This is the Phantom 1. Very cool. I like that. Good use of parts. Now, someone who I absolutely adore is Jesse's Brick Galaxy.
This is so cool.
Right, and if you look carefully, folks, it says Justice, and he's actually going to be displaying this at a brick convention. I didn't quite catch which one it was that he's doing. Jesse, if you're out there, tell us all about it. But look at that! What a brilliant way of.
I love the discoloring as well. The different colors within. I love the fact they're not all uniform as well.
It's very cool, isn't it? And this is for his I think this is like part and parcel of a big, massive DC display that he's doing. He did send me a couple of other pictures, but I can't see them. There we go. Family Bricks is out there. There he is. And I asked Matt. I said, "Are you enjoying it out there in Billund?" And he said, "Yes, he is. He's loving it out there, actually." So yeah, nice one, Matt. Thanks for sending us over London Bridge. Just saying. Now, here's the thing. There's a Lego haul from the Lego house. So I was actually asking. This is James North. Thank you, James, for sending this in. Is that you, Stuart? Is that your signature?
Yeah, my signature. I know my signature looks like I'm trying to start the pen, but that is my signature.
I was just saying because I don't know. It's it's.
I love that dark. I when I went to Leicester Square, I actually saw the duck and I passed up on it.
No,
yeah, I did.
Unforgivable.
You can't
crazy
do that.
man.
It just means I wouldn't have to go to Billund and get it.
There's those bricks.
True. You
There's
want the
the reason.
authentic experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, but
I do want that. I do love
your
that
quackers,
unique
Mark.
little-
Your quackers.
Nice try. You got like the bag of six, the bag of six bricks.
The bag of six. And how many?
Oh my god, I can't. I love.
I'm trying to think. How many combinations is that, Stuart, off the top of your head?
Oh, about 915,103,765 ish.
Boom! There you go. Ish. I like that bit. Loving it. I'd say massive fan of the duck. Love a duck, especially in a wrap. Just saying, bit of the who's and chicken sauce. What else we got going on there? That's this month's gift we purchased. I've managed to accumulate about 3 of these. I have because actually Lego extended the gift we purchased longer, and I got them because great use of parts. 300 pieces, so that's pretty good. And of course, then we got Captain Redbeard. Look at that. Maybe one day I'll get my one signed by Stuart as well. Never know. Just saying. They put you on the spot there, Steve. There we go. Lego house as well. I did actually get that. I can't remember. I think it was for sale. Wasn't it one of those strange ones where it was for sale for people in the UK?
Yeah,
you couldn't buy it in America. Yeah, during the pandemic.
Yeah. We tested it out, but it only been gone through approval for certain countries, so that's why we had to restrict where we could sell.
That website was amazing for the time it was there.
Yeah, it was. I picked up a couple, that's for sure. It was really restrictive, and quite rightly so.
I go through the Lego store occasionally. I always bring a pen with me, and I just randomly sign the boxes, and people go up to the other staff. There's somebody vandalizing the boxes.
Oh, really? And then they say that's Stuart Harris, and they're like, "Who?" He designed
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
And they're like, but that's the thing, though. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, to normal Joe blogs, you know, they just don't know. If you know, you know. It's one of those things. Yeah,
but some of the designs also come into the Lego House store, and they also sign their own boxes as well. So you can sometimes be lucky and find some pre-signed ones on the shelf.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's cool. They're the ones that look out for those folks if you go in there. Very, very cool indeed. And limited as well. It always says limited. This is James North as well. He's built his one. I don't know where he's got the original minifigure. Baz, you're a man in the know. How much how much can you get the original minifigure of Captain Redbeard from? How much do you reckon he is?
I'd be honest with you, I don't know. I've got a couple of originals, but I've also got a couple of newer ones as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm not too sure the price on it, to be honest. Do you want me to look?
Yeah, if you don't mind, mate, that would be awesome. Thank you. So there we go, folks. There's the
I love that tile.
It was personal, isn't it?
And the reference as well. Now we know the reference behind the X and the dash is so cool.
Yes,
exactly. I love it. That leg is wicked. Minifigure tribute. A minifigure. Oh, that suggests there's more to come, doesn't it? This is A. This sounds like one of many. Just saying, Stuart. Don't just put you on the spot. Look at the poker face. It's not murmuring anything. But just saying. There we go. I'm curious, actually. Anyone out there? If there was another maxi fig, we'll call it. Which would you like? Would you like a spaceman? Would you like a policeman? Or would you like? What was the original ones called? You did. I think you mentioned it, Stuart. Where they didn't have arms.
The stage extra. Yeah.
I
built a stage extra in the same scale, but I guess it's not that great a building experience. But,
but could you get something in the future like a maxi figure accessory pack or something like that? Just saying. But yeah,
I put the prototypes on my Instagram, so you can see the other versions that I tried out.
Oh yeah, and do check it out, folks. Stuart, what is your Instagram? It's Master Builder
_Stuart.
There you go, folks. Do check it out, and everybody's details, as you already know the drill, folks, is down in the description below. Next up, this is from Echo Bricks. This is the Lego House exclusive as well. Gorgeous, isn't it?
I love this. I love it.
That's why I've got to go there. I just want to get into a building that looks like this. Like you got Brent. We've got the Design Museum here in the UK, in London, I should say, more specifically. And I just love, I just love being there because I'm just completely calm and chilled out, just being in there in this Design Museum. And it's just like, you just want to sit on the steps all day long and just watch life go past and look at old designs.
As the young kids would say, it's a vibe.
Oh yeah, or vibe, or like that. It's a new word, is it? Fantastic. That sounds
such
sick.
A vibe.
Yeah, nice. Liking that. Vibe. If I say that, I've got to put glasses on, I think.
Man, it's just such a vibe, man. Like,
I love it. Like, okay, look, what's it mean? What's it mean? But it sounds good. It sounds a positive thing, which is always good. Now, this is a positive thing. This is something that Craigster's going to be doing tomorrow. He's frantically trying to finish his mock. And this is for the all-new. Oh, it's the all-new Yorkshire Brick Show. Unique models on display. I love the fact we call them models these days. Even Stuart referred to it as a model house, model shop for a while. It's true, though. This UCS Millennium Falcon, folks, it's a model. End of story. Unique models on display. Fairy bricks as well. Fairy bricks mosaic. Actually, so the guy that does Fairy bricks was working for Lego at the Star Wars Celebration. And if they're going to display what they showed off, my God, one of them's a TIE bomber. I can't remember what the other one was. Brickapix is out there. She'll remind us. It looked phenomenal, folks. It was massive, like huge.
Is it a Falcon on Endor?
You could be right. I think it was actually, but the TIE bomber. OMG! I mean, it's basically 2.5 meters by 2 meters. It's huge. It's ginormous. But anyway, folks, York Race Course, 15th, 16th of April. That's this weekend. 10 a.m. from 4 p.m. Tickets now on sale. Apparently, eventbrite.co.uk. Good stuff. Nice to see. This is Mr. Chalice, who's out there as well. There he is. He's showing it off. There's the peg leg. And as a curious hook, piece have you used there, Stuart? What's this piece? Is
That's
that like a ball
you
joint?
remember, I think it was in the superhero collectible minifigures. You know, when they wanted to put the minifigure in an action kind of pose of kind of, it was that little angle piece.
Ah, yes, the DC ones. The DC ones had the first ones, I think it was. Oh, phenomenal.
I can take this off and maybe put it to the camera so you can see.
Okay, let's have a look.
Oh, they use that sometimes for the tops of drinks as well, for straws.
Yeah.
One by one round with 45-degree bar.
Oh, boom! Stuart's
There
like,
you go.
if you say so. That's why I have Craig on here, man. He just knows his parts inside out. He just does.
65578.
See that geezer there in the background, Chris? He's called Greg as well. Just saying. Anyway, moving along swiftly. So here we go. We know the story now. If you come from the west, from the UK, coming in by boat. If you come from the south, you're coming all the way from Germany. It's a thing.
Actually, there's two other little Easter eggs, or not Easter eggs, but sort of references on there. We changed the boat to the Black Sea's Barracuda. The red
one for Barry there. Barry's nodding. He's like, yeah, like that.
And then the skull is actually a reference to the first figures with the building minifigures, which had the round heads with the studs on where the ears and one on the top.
Oh gosh,
yeah. So we made a skull version.
Yeah,
the skull version of that to put in the compass.
Wow,
that's
honestly,
so cool.
Like, unless we get designers on here, folks, you just don't know all the little Easter eggs that they put in there, which is what it's all
I've
about.
got a plan to modify mine. I can't wait to do it.
Nice.
It's going to be very different.
Good idea, mate. Good idea. I look forward to that because I know you're a big Pirates fan. You like the sort of 90s vibe, as it were, from Lego. There we go. There's Mr. Chalice there. Is that a video recorder you got over there, Mr. Chalice? Blimey, I've not seen one of them in years. What's all that about? There we go. Oh, he's done the parrot as well. So that's the new 3-in-1 parrot, which it does go really well with it, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Change a few parts over to red, bright red, and yellow, and you got yourself the real McCoy. Like that. Nice.
McCall.
Nice one,
McCall,
Mr. The what? Sorry.
The real McCall.
No, real McCoy.
McCall, isn't it? It's what they're called. McCalls.
Oh, I've got no idea. I thought you were saying real McCoy.
Real McCoy, and they call him McCaw. Real McCaw.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take word for it.
I love this.
I just call them parrots. But look, so here's the thing. Last week we had Brick Adjuster on showing us what I can only describe as a physical migraine, to be honest. I mean, look.
It's like my room right now, actually.
No way, Barry. No way.
Not just my Lego, though.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Cool. He's got some nice parts over there. So look at these tyres he's got going on there. He's got loads of tyres.
Nice collection of slides.
Yeah, they are. So anyway, so that was the before, and that's the after. There we go.
I wonder if he lost any pieces in the pool
pushed them into all
table.
the holes. Wasn't
I was about to say, I wonder if he lost any.
Send him round mine. I need help.
He's done to the veneer. Just saying. It looks.
Well,
like,
I mentioned it last week. I said, wouldn't have scratched it all up? And he said, no.
Yeah. Wasn't bothered, was he? He was like,
he wasn't bothered at all.
It looks a little bit scratched up to me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have him on next week anyway. We'll see where it's going. But yeah, I think I prefer that. But then I'm a bit of a Lego freak, so what can I say? But there we go, folks. That is all the pictures for today. Thank you, everybody, for sending them in. I always appreciate it. And just remember, folks, even if you do something tonight, even if you do something tomorrow, email it to me or DM me on Instagram, and I'll show the pictures off next week. It's as simple as that. It really is. And on that note, I think it's a nice time to sort of go around the panel and just see, because now we've hit that 3-hour mark. We're not going to do a 4-hour mark. We're not that crazy, Brent. Blimey. Your wife will forget what you look like.
She was like, what's the point of doing it earlier if you're still going to do it until 1 a.m.? And I'm like, we had Rich Boy Jay on. It was a good time. We were talking Star Wars. Time flies, man. I don't know.
It does.
Don't honestly, look at me. It's not my fault.
It's like a void. When you start going down the Star Wars, I prefer.
It really is. It's a deep black hole.
It is, and the fact is, folks, most of us on here, I think everyone loves a bit of Star Wars, don't they? One way, shape, or another. And someone who definitely loves a bit of Star Wars, and he loves a bit of Mando, and quite rightly so, because I think it's a great season, personally, folks. I really do. Is my good friend Bazza, aka Fooling with Bricks. So Bazza, you got any plans for the weekend, my friend?
Not really. Just going to chill out. I'm going to, believe it or not, though you said I'm a bit of a Star Wars fan, I need to catch up on the animation because I'm not really into the animation. So I plan on spending it with Scotty watching, catching up on the animation programs.
So, just out of curiosity, animation-wise, what are you going to watch? You going to watch Rebels or are you going to watch Clone Wars?
Yeah, I think we're going to watch the last season of Clone Wars and then start on Rebels.
Oh, nice.
Rebels is pretty great.
I love Rebels, man. Do you know what? Rebels was the first thing I ever watched, and everyone says, "Oh no, I don't watch Rebels," and I'm like, "Why is that?" Because I watched Clone Wars. It was a real thing, and I was like, "But I think Rebels is really good." So I've always stuck to that. I've always liked Rebels. I bought the Ghost and all sorts of things back in the day. I'll have to start potentially if there's ever another one coming out. Just saying, Stu. Good idea if they did do it. But if I'm gonna have to get out my one and put it up there, maybe on top, land it on top of the Jazz Club or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. So you're going to be watching the last season of Rebels. Was that Baz or the last season? Of Clone Wars?
Season of Clone Wars, and then all the Rebels, and then on my own, I'm going to watch the Bad Batch.
Oh yeah, the Bad Batch is all right. Bad Batch is okay. I tell you what, I would recommend as well. I don't know what Brent thinks about this, or maybe actually, Mr. BookieBoo. Let's ask you this one. Have you watched Jedi Tales yet, Mr. BookieBoo?
I have not, but I've heard good things about it.
Oh, I'm a massive Dooku fan and Count Dooku, and that just solidified my love for the character. It really did. It was awesome. So Baz, I definitely recommend that, and I won't spoil anything that you are going to watch.
You know what I'm like for looking into spoilers and stuff anyway, so nothing spoils it for me. And to be fair, because I've skipped all that, I've picked stuff up anyway, bits and pieces. So
yeah,
you know, I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from them, but I know bits and pieces anyway, so it'll be interesting to see. I just hope that I can hold my concentration watching them, but I'm sure I'll get into them. So,
oh no, you will, mate, you will. Don't you worry. All right, good stuff. And are you going to be doing anything? Are you going to be streaming at all with anyone at all, or anything like that, or just watching lots of cartoons?
I don't think I've got anything planned in terms of streaming that. You know, I don't do any of my own content now. Post up on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, so I might do a live on Instagram eventually. Because I've got.
I miss your monthly updates. You used to do a monthly update. I used to love all that.
Yeah, I've got bored with talking to myself, so I think I'll stop. Just talk about the same old thing. Just going around in circles. Got to tidy up the bedroom, and that's it. You know, what have I bought? That's it.
That's it. Well, that's it. That's what people do. Some people make a living out of doing that. Just saying. All right. Anyway, Bazza, lovely to have you on here.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Good man. Now, Mark, other than sorting out your plumbing this weekend, what else are you going to be?
That was so embarrassing. I'm so sorry, honestly. It's only happened over the last couple of days. It just seems to, whenever the cold tap goes on, it just goes absolutely crazy. So
it's the cold tap. So it's not.
The cold tap that causes it. It's sometimes no. It's the cold tap.
It's the cold tap. Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, what are you going to do? Because you took last weekend off. It was Easter weekend. You've got a 4-day weekend. And I'm thinking I'm going to stream more. And Mark's like, no, I'm going to take it easy. Spend some time with the family.
Yeah, spend some time with the family because you know family's important, and so spending time with family is super important. And we don't do it often enough. So we chose last week to do it, and you know it was well worth it. Like it was nice to just have a bit of a break and just hang out and chill and. Yeah. So did that, but no, back to normal. So I'll be streaming on Sunday on Twitch at 2 p.m. BST now.
BST,
yeah, BST now.
BST, and Americans EDT.
Yeah, I know. Doing the Instagram conversion, it always confuses me. Doing it does. Yeah. But yeah, so I'll be on Twitch. I'll be doing some Lego content. I've got some of the friends' bedrooms. I've built 2 of them, so I have 2 left to build. So I'll be building one of those. And I finished the truck, by the way. I didn't put the stickers on, but I finished the truck.
Oh, very nice. So, that's good, isn't it?
I am not putting those big panel stickers on. I'll do that later.
I'll tell you what's good with that. The minifigures are even quite good on that as well.
Oh, they are. The minifigures are fantastic. Like you've got.
There you go. Is one of them sticking out their tongue in it? I'm sure one of them sticks out their tongue.
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Have a look at his alternative head.
Yeah, he's got the kind of the determined sticky outy tongue.
The focus to look.
Well, Craig tonight, he was sticking his tongue out left, right, and centre. He was when he was building his tower.
There you go. There's your new minifigure face.
Your new sig fig face. Yeah.
Yeah. The lady's also got the
lady. Good stuff. She's grimacing.
The
She is.
petrified face. That's the
it.
face you got when you're taking your, precious piano out the moving truck and you just realised that it's just slipped off the rack.
Yeah. Or you get your credit card bill at the end of the month. And you think, did I really buy all that Lego?
It cost how much to move?
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Craig, you're totally right, mate. It was a grimace. All right. Good stuff, Mark. Look forward to seeing you stream on Sunday. Always a pleasure. And thank you for coming on tonight as well.
Thank you
Mr.
very much for having me.
First time on, Mark. I hope you're going to come back again one day. You got any plans for the weekend?
Hopefully do a little bit of building, and I need to get back to the YouTube stuff. It's just I've been a bit out of a hiatus with Lego in general, and so I'm trying to get back into the swing of it. So I really want to do another update and see what's new in the city, that type of stuff. So yeah,
good stuff. All right, good stuff. And do you ever do any live streams yourself? Because I know you've done some with Heather, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I've done live streams in the past. Yeah, and so I'm looking at again, it's been it's been busy. Life gets busy and stuff.
Life does.
So yeah, so it's good to take a break once in a while. But I'm definitely looking at getting back into the live streaming and doing more of that for sure. Yeah. Sweet.
Well, the community is definitely more wholesome when you do, my friend. It really is. So we look forward to that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, someone who can't stop streaming at the moment. Someone's only got to say the word podcast that he's there. He's a hussy of Lego. He really is of podcasting. That is, of course, Brent's Bricks. Brent, I'd asked you what you're up to this weekend, but I think the word podcast is going to pop up maybe once or twice. So what are you up to?
Yeah, so I'm doing Brick Adjusters podcast at 10 tonight. There's definitely never been... I've never done like back-to-back streams / podcasts in the matter of just like 24 hours. So, but that's cool. Excited for that. Usually I work all weekend. Typically I'm at work right now. My job is more of a weekend warrior kind of thing. I work during the week a little bit, but yeah, every weekend I'm pretty much just working. But it'll be a fun time tonight to hop on another stream, probably build another speed champs. I just built the Ferrari throughout this stream. This thing is beautiful. I mean, just
so good.
How great of parts usage are those exhausts? I mean, that's just fantastic.
That's so good.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
And they even give you like the little piece that you need to put in the stud shooter if you wanted to use it like that. But yeah, that is just, I mean, when the pictures came out for this and I looked at the back of this thing, I noticed the stud shooters. I'm like, I mean, that is just incredible parts usage. I mean, that's just chef's kiss right there.
Yeah.
And just how low they get this thing. I mean, I'm a bit of a car head myself, so I've always liked speed champs. But the fact that they can print on the sides,
I know, so
the fact
good.
that they can print that low is it's so good. There's so many good excuse me. There's so many good pieces in here, like the new bricks that are just like 2 plates high. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stickers in this build, but I think the next one I might build later, it's probably going to be this guy right here.
Oh, I love that one. Check out the back end of it. Turn
Look
at the back end of that.
Fantastic, yeah.
Dude,
hey, this car actually has doors? 4 of them.
Really? Blimey,
you get what I mean?
Well.
Look, so they use door pieces.
On the back
to make that up. Yeah. That's why everyone's making the joke like this car has 4 doors. Stupid joke.
Exactly. And he's got 5 wheels as well. Honestly, look.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like a speed champion, man. It's so rounded.
Fantastic. They're
Stuart,
great.
honestly,
fantastic.
Stuart, take it from us, right? Speed champions hit that sweet spot between large creator cars and giving us a small affordable set. Honestly, everyone loves them. They really do. They're like
fantastic.
Universal. We love them to bits.
Especially cars from movies. Give us more Fast and Furious, please.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Definitely.
Give us the Mark IV Supra, the orange Mark IV Supra, please. I'm begging you.
We can all beg.
Put me back on full screen. Put me back on full screen.
It's so good.
Look at
They're
that.
all
Look
so
at that.
Good.
That is one of the best ever.
I love this so much.
That's great.
As soon as I heard the potential of them releasing that set, right? And it was when it was kind of announced that it might be coming out, if these things are announced. I went to the Lego store in Leicester Square and they've got a massive one. Stuart might even have built it. They've got a massive, great big DB5 in Leicester Square, which you can press, you can beep 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 all day long. I think it drives the people that work in the Lego store absolutely nuts. It does when I'm in there, and I'm only in there for like an hour. And then on the back of that, I actually then went and bought the creator set of it, and it was just literally about the week it was retiring. I thought, well, I've got to get it because it might not be the perfect looking DB5 at certain angles, but everyone who's built it says it's one of the best engineering sets they've ever constructed and assembled. And on that alone, I bought it. So anyway, so Brent's going to be podcasting like you wouldn't realize. His wife's going to forget what he looks like. Stuart, I don't want to say what people are doing over the weekend, but you're probably like going to take it easy. Is it give your fingers a little rest or something like that?
Well, on Tuesday I'm going to BrickTastic in Vancouver, so I have to prepare for that. I need to do some presentations that I'm going to do over there. So I'll be doing that this weekend.
Phenomenal. Is that like a sort of a brick festival sort of thing? Or is that
yeah,
like a big show?
A fan event. And I was supposed to go in 2020, but we know what happened to that year. So yeah, I finally get my chance to go.
Oh, that's mad. That's crazy. All right. Well, anyone who's going to that, let us know. Let us know how it was. Craigster, are you still there?
I am.
Oh, good, man. Have you got well, I was going to say, have you got an update for us? But let's ask that. How's the mock building gone tonight?
Frantic.
Okay. And how's it looking now?
It's just about there.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's good. It's not going to be too late at night then. That's brilliant.
I've still got to pack everything up.
Oh, have you? Okay. I go bed, get up early, do it. Let's have a look. Show us what you've done. Show us around.
That's amazing.
Nice one, boy.
Look at those stairs.
Nice.
Yeah, the
So
stairs are
good.
bigger. It's a bit higher now, so took all the blue out. Oh. So yeah, and it's modular, so it'll all come apart.
Wicked.
And it's still, even though it's modular and it splits, it still does the hinges.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah. See that? Look at that.
That looks so cool with a great big black dragon on top.
Yeah.
I've got
Just
one of
saying.
those now. I'm just saying, yeah, it's a good shout actually, because it'll go with all the greebling you got going up. And
So if you want to see it properly, you have to come tomorrow to Yorkshire Brickshire.
there we go.
I'll hop on my flight tonight.
Yeah, man. I get it. Honestly, it'll be there.
Nice.
And what time does it? What time does the event start tomorrow?
10.
Craigster? 10 o'clock, and it's 10 till 4.
10
if I
till
remember
4.
correctly. Well done, mate. Well done. Well, you've done Admiral tonight, doing that. Now, talking of Admiral, folks, survey. We had exactly 123 people voted tonight. It was asking a very simple little question. Let's face it, we're all big kids, but have you still got Lego from when you was a child? 52% says yes. It's very close, isn't it? Very close. And strangely, you think it'd be 48%, but for some reason or other, Google likes to take its 1%. So it's 47% says no. Very strange, isn't it? But there we go. It can't add up. I had to feed that back to them, actually. But yeah, thank you, everybody who voted tonight. And thank you, everybody, for being here tonight as well. What am I going to be doing? I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing, folks. I've got a very intriguing Sunday coming up where I'm actually going to interview a Lego designer, believe it or not. All will be revealed in the future very, very soon. Don't worry about that. But I'm having to convert part of my house into a kind of studio. So it kind of works as an area to actually interview someone. But anyway, all will be revealed in the future, folks. It's all for a bit of fun. And what can I
Get
say?
your camera work sorted out.
I might even be using 2, believe it or not. But anyway, it's going to be a bit of a fun one, something that I've never done before as well. So it'll be like doing a London Calling, but with just one person and without all the craziness and bad jokes as well. And on that note as well, I just want to say thank you, Craigster, for being here tonight. I know tonight was always going to be a tough one, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you shared in the occasion, and we got to see your mock as well, which is pretty amazing. And numerous times we got to see your tongue. I've never seen the concentration tongue's unbelievable. But there we go. That is a concentration tongue and a half. Stuart, lovely to have you back here as well. Thank you so much. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here. It really, really is. We love it. Brents,
we're not worthy.
We're not worthy. This is exactly. That's it. But no, thank you. And hopefully, maybe one day this year, we'll actually meet as well, which would be amazing. I'm I want to say as well, thank you to Brent's Bricks, one of the dynamic team from ACOP, which is pretty damn special. So it's lovely to have you here, my friend.
Glad to be here.
One of my absolute, we didn't even go into detail on it, really, folks.
It's all right.
You're welcome.
I think I know where you're going.
Well, I was going to say actually to Mr. BookieBoo.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say to him. We didn't say Girth. We only said it once or twice, didn't we? But for Mr. BookieBoo, thank you so much for being on tonight as well. We didn't even go into depth on your city, and your city is one of my favorite cities in the YouTube sphere. So I want everyone who's on the panel tonight, folks. I want to get them all back on again, so I can go even into a deeper dive of learning stuff from them, because that's what it's all about, being part of the community, folks, and learning from each other. It really is. But yeah, lovely having you here tonight, Mark. Hope you enjoyed it. I know these things.
Absolutely.
These are kind of new things, so they can be a bit. Even I get anxious doing stuff like this. I really do. The nervous energy is like up here. It really is.
No, good times. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate it. MNRK, Greg's grandson. Thank you for being on as well, Mark. As always,
no worries.
Sort your plumbing out, for the love of God.
Don't worry, it's on the priority list.
We always get with Bazza. We always get a police sirens coming past his house.
Now you're going to have the pipes,
and now you've got water pipes.
You have to keep a tally. Keep a tally in the chat.
Making sweet music.
Yeah, making sweet music. You'll be like in the background, "You stop using that toilet! I'm streaming." Just saying. But anyway, on that absolute bombshell, lovely to have you here as well, Bazza. And thank you everybody for being out there tonight. Honestly, without you guys, London wouldn't be calling at all. And on that note, I just want to thank the Minific Who, Chris Chalice, Stud Sidious, Lego Lassie, Clicking Cliff, Infamous Conflict, Gregor Craig, Lady McBrick. Lovely having you out there. Lady McBrick, how are you feeling as well? You look very well today when you was doing your stream over on Instagram. Cabbage Face Bricks as well, Brickapix, the Brick Bods, Fat Blondies, an Irish fan of Lego, to name but a few. And always remember, folks, that Lego is a wonderful thing, and each and every one of you are too. Take care, have a wonderful weekend, and we will all see you very soon. Take care, good night, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye. Cheerio.